Hello and welcome to the stream. Gosh, okay, everything's breaking, okay. Excuse me. Okay, we're going back to the Moss Deep Space Center. Probably need to heal up my Pokemon. So we'll do that real quick. We'll head back to the Space Center. Okay. Okay. Yep. Why am I out of my brain? I feel so much painful. Effects are known to be so much painful. We go back and forth through this a lot. Did this. Yeah, why would we keep going back and forth, but whatever. Okay, more cutscene time. Mackenzie, I've been expecting you. Ah, that's it. That woman, that Xenia, she mentioned the Sky Pillar. Few can enter it, only the successors of the ancient world, who know of what has been. The lore keepers who are tasked with passing on the knowledge to those who come after. Do you remember Wallace, whom you met in Sutopolis? Yes. Is that right? That is a relief. The gym leader of Sutopolis, Wallace, should know how to undo the seal of the Sky Pillar's entrance. He is also one of the few humans to have inherited such ancient lore. I will remain here and work with the professor and his team to devise a plan for what to do next. That woman, Xenia, I cannot put my faith in her. We will think of a new way to stop the meteoroid on our own. Xenia and the Sky Pillar, I will leave them in your hands. I will send a message to Wallace for you, so he knows to help. You can probably find him in the Cave of Origin in Sutopolis. Awesome. Couldn't he just be in his gym? Ugh. I don't want to go through all that. I can't Eon flute, do they? Do I even have dive anymore? I sure hope so. Beep, 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 beep. I'll just go into Sutopolis City. Was the Cave of Origin in? Wait, which one was the Cave of Origin? Was that the one outside, or is that the one just inside? I can't remember. I'll check the one inside first. No, let's check the walk there. At Sutopolis City. So it's the one inside, I think, right? I'm gonna assume it's the one inside. You're not where I need to be. Bye, small child. Goodbye, small child. It's a confusing area. What? Oh, I'm on the other side, I see. I was very confused. Excuse me. Oh, I was supposed to... Oh no, this is the area, okay. Ah, Wallace, oh cool, okay, cool. That's easy. What a glorious turn of events! Is it really? Oh ho ho! Is it really? To think that this tree, I never knew we had received it from that huge man who visited from the Kalos region. Huge man, that's AZ, I think. Goodness me, old master, this has been a learning experience. I thank you for this. Oh ho ho, you're too kind, Master Wallace. Oh ho ho. Oh, no, you're too modest. Aha. Now then. Welcome again to Zootopolis, our new champion, Mackenzie. Stephen has told me everything. Do you wish to go to the Sky Pillar? It is true that the cave that leads the Sky Pillar can only be opened by the hand of someone descended from the ancient people of Zootopolis, as indeed I am. Or by one of the Draconids, who have also lived in Hoenn since ancient times. The Sky Pillar is in fact an altar built for the ascension of Rayquaza, that legendary Pokémon long said to be the protector of the Hoenn region. Only the ancient Draconid people, know how to summon Rayquaza to the Sky Pillar. Stephen has told me of the woman Xenia. She must be trying to revive Rayquaza for some purpose. I shall go first to the Sky Pillar. When your preparations are complete, come join me. Latar, over everything upon one of Route 131 Small Islands. Okay. What's this tree? Okay. I assume it's this tree. Oh, is this how we get there? Do we have to take... Is the route? Is this an option? I don't know. It's just a dead end. So that's gonna lead to the Cave of Origin. Can I... But is there like a way to like go off of this balcony? Can I like... No, I think I gotta go back. Gosh darn it. What a beautiful tree. Anyway, bye! Check this E. I don't know. Should I just E on? Yeah, I should probably E on, but... We haven't been there, so I don't imagine we can just fly to it, so we'll just fly on up. Take on the legendary Rayquaza. 130, that's probably good. Wild that I can just land in the water. What happened to you? I don't know. Or maybe you land on one of the islands. Yeah, you land on one of the islands. Okay. Yes. I'd like to surface. The Sky Pillar has allegedly opened up. I don't have to fight you, I don't think. Yay. So you've come, Mackenzie. As you can see, I have undone the seal on the entrance to the Sky Pillar. Follow the path within and you will reach the pillar in time. However, to go beyond this point, there is one more trial you must overcome. This is my duty as one of the ancient Sootopolatans? A duty passed down to me by my former master. You must battle me here and now. Prove to me that your power is great enough to face what lies ahead. Tell me, are you prepared? Yeah, sure, whatever. Let us begin. champion of hoeing. You who should exhibit the most graceful of art in battle with your Pokémon. I would have to show me your true... I would have you show me your true strength. Okay. Part like that. It's not my part, it's my hair is standing up. I don't know what's going on with my hair right now. That's really weird. I need a haircut. I definitely need a haircut. Don't worry about my part. Okay. You are challenged by Stuffle and Pain and Pause. So not Wailord. A Wailord, you say? Well, too bad I don't have a flying type. Oh, wait! Sorry. Would be a shame if I had some sort of flying type Pokemon. Wait, are they not? Hold on, are they not? Sweet Jesus! I should have saved before this battle. I don't know why I didn't save before this battle. Huh. That was dumb of me. Save before this battle again? Sweet Jesus. Are any of you ready to battle these guys? Tentacruel, a Ludicolo, a Whizgay. Oh god, we have a full team. Okay. Gyarados and Milotic. Okay, start with the Wailord. That's what we have out now. Petition. Okay. Effectiveness, come on. Effectiveness, speak to grass and electric. Good. You too. Can't wait, we're using Neil already, but sure. Neil can probably take care of all of them, to be honest, but we'll see. Okay. Turn it up a little bit, hopefully it'll help. Okay. Yes! Okay, one down. 5 to go. You're done. Sending out my Milotic next. Grass one like we're the same thing, okay? Keep battling, just keep using Thunderbolt. Excuse me. Form par. Oh, so close. Yes. I don't love that I have to use 2 of them, but that is the way it goes. Cool. 2, I don't think that's necessarily. That's such a large level. Okay. Ludicolo. So Milotic is out. Ludicolo's next. No game looking. Okay, flying, poison, and bug. And I can check your moves. I forgot what those 2 are. Dragon Psychic Alarm. What was it again? It was flying, poison, or bug? Whoops! Didn't mean to activate you in. My bad. I meant to just check what your moves were. Well, this is what we're doing, I guess. flying type is dead. And is also wildly underleveled, but what can you do to this partial gravity? You're just normal stuff, so I'll just fight, I guess, with a fire blast. Sure. You're still alive. Dang it. Oh god. Right. I'm sorry, what? What was that bullshit? You missed the attack. Wait, what? No, stop. Missing. Switch out. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm panicking. I'm panicking. Oh, I'm just gonna throw in everybody and anyone. I don't know. Not water, steel, or ground. Don't do any of those. Dragon Pulse? I don't know. Sweet Jesus. You're gonna die. Oh god, everybody's dead. Not ready for this. Okay, good. Fine, let's bring in Neil to deal with you. I don't want Neil to be like the person that deals with all of them, but it seems that I have no choice. This Dragon Ball is a little bit more effective. Oh my god. Uh-oh. Ice is super effective against the dragon. How do you do this to begin with? Okay. Cool. Cool. So we'll call those out. Tentacle. Ground, electric, and psychic. Battling. I have a move. Okay. Pretty good, pretty good. Oh god, it started raining. Cool. I'm gonna heal everybody. Final Pokemon, Gyarados. Is it the final Pokemon, or do we? No, we have one more Pokemon after Gyarados. Electric times 4. Yeah, we're gonna keep that like Electric's times 4. This will be easy. Yeah, I know. My move is my second spell or whatever. Effective. Oh, yep. One more. Okay. And one left. Whiz cash. To grass. Okay, so that's just, don't do electric or rock or fire or poison, steel. Okay. Keep battling. Let's keep battling. Let's do like a water type move. Water is fine. Okay, I guess the ground was. Dragon. I don't have a water type already. But I do have a dragon type. So I'll do that. Woo! Not my favorite, but we'll make it work. Okay. Fine. Dragon Balls. Defeat me, descendant of the Sutopolis people, and even when I was holding nothing back. Mackenzie received all that money. Okay. All that money. As I have come to expect from you, Mackenzie. You are an excellent Pokemon trainer. Just the Pokemon that you sent out in that battle, at times dancing as lightly as an elusive spring breeze. Sure. Yet striking with the sudden surety of lightning from the blue. Watching you command the battle with such ease and grace. Yeah, ease. Even I might succumb to your charm. Now go forward. Find the truth that you seek. As one of the ancient people of Sutopolis, I cannot intrude upon this holy place. I will return to Sutopolis for now, and try to lay plans in case the worst should come to pass despite all our efforts. I'm sorry that we always seem to be leaving the fate of all the world in your hands. Yet there it lies once again. Good luck to you, young champion. Well, very well then. Going on a little journey. We saved after that battle. Gotta get to floor 2 to get the item, and then we can leave. If I can. If it lets me leave. Yeah, we're gonna have to use a few revives here. Yeah. So we don't have to worry about that. Okay, we're still okay, entering the cave. Floor 1. There are trainers here, I'll be wildly surprised. Well, that was easy. I'm assuming that. Wait, is that floor 1 or was that the. Oh, wait, hold on, how does that work? Or was that like the basement? Check the walkthrough. Okay. Should look at the Sky Pillar page, I think. Specifically for this. I imagine this is the tower itself, yeah. Map, please. Map? Where map? There it is. Okay, layout. Doesn't have the ORAS? What the frick? You don't have the ORAS images? What the frick, Bulbapedia? It's been like 12 years. What the heck? What? Okay, so they count. That's just the entrance, okay. Floor 2, so we're gonna go all the way up. All the way up. Okay. Fine. Well, not all the way up, but you know. If I can go back, I'll go back. And we'll do some trading. Just use a max repel. I still have a nugget? Okay. Oh, Xenia. So, you came for me. Thanks for that. That's really good, Mackenzie. I really feel it right here. Since you've been a good girl, I think I'll give you something I've been keeping. Look, the paintings that cover the walls of this tower. See? These are the history of humanity, of Pokémon and nature itself. They're the tales that have been passed down by my ancestors, the Draconids, for thousands of years. And now I will pass that history and lore on to you. Thousands of years ago, in the primal age, long lost, the world was overflowing with natural energy. Primal Groudon and Primal Kyogre fought over the energy in endless, furious clashes. In the face of Primal Groudon and Kyogre, ooh, it's so much cooler on the 3DS. Great power, people could do nothing. The only choice was to watch as disaster upon disaster swept over them. It was such a time that a great many meteoroids poured from the darkness of space from a place higher even than the heavens, and the meteoroids fell in the multitude upon a waterfall that had long been home to a tribe of dragon-type Pokemon users. Okay, that's it. That's the end of the first chapter of my tale. I'll tell you the next part of the story on the next floor. Look forward to it. I'm allowed to leave, right, at any time? Sure hope so. Are we on floor 2? Is this count as floor 2? I don't know if this counts as floor 2 or not, to be honest with you. How do I get... Okay. Let's be a level 45 Pokemon or higher. Yeah, having a level 45 Pokemon here is probably not the best. A level 44 Pokemon. How do I get over there? It's gotta be another path. It's kind of a cool environment that way we actually get to see the background of the cave or of the tower. That's cool. This is definitely unique compared to the other one. That was floor 2, which means dragon scale, dragon scale, dragon scale! We found the dragon scale! We found the dragon scale, which means I can trade Pokemon now. Which Pokemon do I want to trade? Okay, we trade with the dragon scale. We'll trade with Porygon, I guess. Wait, okay, so trade Porygon to a Mega Ruby. Yes? Okay, trade Pokemon time. Then I gotta trade it back when I have... Wait, are we playing Alpha Sapphire or Omega Ruby? We're playing Omega Ruby. Oh, crap. I need another Pokemon. I'm gonna have to swamp Pokemon if I want to get Clamperl, or if I want to get Gorobus. Or Porygon 2. Do I have another Pokemon on my list that I have to trade over? Let me make sure that I don't have to trade any of my other Pokemon in, like, the future time. When I do, like, Gen 5, that's like, basically what I'm trying to say. Okay, so time codes. Okay, I don't know why I don't have... Okay, open. I'm opening my long list of Pokemon I still need to get. I have a bunch of those I need to do. So, okay. We will get Rayquaza later. Right now it's all about Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So Porygon, gotta trade that one. Cameron, gotta get it. Oh yeah, the Weather Trio. Oh yeah, the Weather Trio. Depending on what I do, which game I choose, I can transfer one of them over. Okay, so I'm gonna wait until I do the Weather Trio to do Gorobus, I guess? Or I can do Gorobus now and wait for Porygon. Porygon, sorry. Porygon. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what's better. I mean, Porygon 2, I guess... Well, no, Gorobus, I guess, should be first, because... But no, that's Alpha Sapphire as well. Sorry, no, it's Seadra and then Porygon. That has to be. That has to be the conversion. Because Clamperl is Alpha Sapphire. I guess which means I could have done that at any point, huh? Or do I not have the upgrade? Wait, do I have the upgrade? Do I have the upgrade? I forget. When do you get the upgrade in this game? Hold on. When do you get get the upgrade. I don't need the sky pillar anymore. So upgrade. So the upgrade. Acquire it. Oh no, I don't have it yet. So no, I don't need to do that yet. So I don't have a Pokemon I can trade yet? Let's see. They both have to trade to Alpha Sapphire. I don't have a Pokemon I can trade. I mean, technically I do have Pokemon I can trade to Omega Ruby, but well, that means I'm still gonna be stuck. I still have to trade one Pokemon over. Because I don't think I have any other Pokemon that I need to get to Alphas. Like, let's say I transfer them to Omega Ruby, right? Because 2 need to go to Alpha Sapphire. 1 needs to go to Omega Ruby. But that one needs to also go back to Alpha, so 3 technically need to go back to Alpha Sapphire. So I have to use 2 of my already pre-existing Pokemon to do this swap. For 2 of them, because... yeah, 3 need to go to Alpha Sapphire. We know that 1 will be Porygon and the Dubious disc, or in the upgrade. And we know 1 will be potentially moving, like Thundurus or whatever one is. Thundurus, I think? We could do Thundurus. To Omega Ruby, or to Alpha Sapphire. Wait, hold on. Yeah, that one's gotta go to, so 1 Alpha Sapphire, 2 Alpha Sapphire, or 3 Alpha Sapphire, 2 Omega Ruby. That means we need 1 more Pokemon. We need to swap with 1 more Pokemon. So we could do that now with Seadra, or we could do it with Clamperl. Either way works. We could have done with Clamperl at any point, huh? I just have to make that decision now. Are we doing Gorobus, or well, Seadra is first. Seadra is canonically the first Pokemon we have to focus on, so... yeah, numerically it is the first, so I should probably focus on that one. Whee! Oh, I gotta go back. Okay. But yeah. Should save, I probably. I'll go back if I can, if it lets me leave the tower. I will run. Save. Yeah, Seadra has to take precedent over everyone else. And I will head to a Pokemon Center. Again, if it allows me. Am I allowed to ride my bike in here? Dang it. Fine, I'll run. Oh, cool. You're not being that cool to me. Okay. We'll head to the nearest Pokemon Center, wherever that is. And we will grab out my other 3DS. Do that real quick. Let's hope this is charged enough. Trade it with some random Pokemon. I don't know which Pokemon though. So yeah, currently we're playing Omega Ruby. We're playing Omega Ruby, right? Oh, I don't know. My brain is so confused. Sorry, yeah, Pacific Lockdown, that'll work. My brain's a little confused right now. Okay, so I'm on Omega Ruby. I'm trading from Omega Ruby to Alpha Sapphire. And we have to do that 3 times. Yes. To trade Seadra, yeah, we're to trade, yeah, Seadra to Alpha Sapphire. Get me a Kingdra. So save here. We will open up the other one. I will have to remember how to do this because I don't, it's been a while, gosh, right, since I've done this. But I will be back in but a moment. Take a little break, and I will be back. Having it all set up. Okay, so it turns out... Oops, sorry. So it turns out that I think my other 3DS, its battery is dead, or like I need to check the actual battery, and I don't have a small enough screwdriver, so I will have to do trading another time, and we'll go back to Skypillar, try to get Rayquaza and Deoxys, and I guess probably build them as well. Yeah, we'll just finish up the stream here. Oh man, just get everybody that we can. Salaman's must be in the other game. Is it? I don't remember, to be honest with you. It must be, right? Because Salamence is an Alpha Sapphire. Okay. Rita would also be an Alpha Sapphire. We have to catch a camera. Get a camera. I think that's in, like, the Battle Mason or whatever. I also need to get a dubious disc in this game. At some point. I think that's also in the Battle Mason. Or Mansion or whatever it's called. Once I get the item, then I will, get the screwdriver and stuff. Like, once I'm able to access my other 3DS, then I will, start trading again. This is the last console that I can basically trade. I'm scared of the future trades. I like to have to trade with, like, people online, or get 2 Switches. I'm not entirely thrilled with the concept of getting 2 Switches, but... I don't know. I mean, I have a Switch downstairs, my building does. So, like, I could use that, hypothetically, as to trade, I guess. My hair being like this. I really need to get a haircut. Okay. I should have gotten water while I was out there. Okay. In Orus, it's also the Battle Mason. Okay. Okay, so back to the thing. It sucks. I really wanted to have a Cedra now, but oh well. I'll stop and trade later. One day. Maybe soon. And when we get a Porygon too in the other game. Cause this game ends, well, once I get the dubious disc and the camera up, and the mega camera up, right? That's all I need. And maybe the Metagross, I guess. Hold on. Can I just go to the tower? I think I could just go to the tower, right? I should have flown, huh? Ah, birds! There it is. Skyfiller. Beep, 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 beep. There. Beep, beep, beep. Yep. Kind of exciting. I don't know, should we get the Beldum in the other game? I don't know, like, we have to beat both games. I have to get Rayquaza twice, don't I? Great. I just realized that. Yeah, I have to go through these twice, don't I? Although we could be done with this game, couldn't we? Could we? No, because we also need to get the dubious disc. Although we could trade another Pokemon. Oh, wait, we could, couldn't we? Wait, hold on. Realizing, could we trade? Go outside again. I don't know why I'm going outside again, but we'll go outside and say, we could trade, we could get both in the other games, and when I trade Cedra with another Pokemon, I could send it with the dubious disc, whether that's Thundurus or whatever, or another Pokemon, so I don't think I technically have to finish. I think I'm done with Omega Ruby, which is wild, until trading time. Yeah, I can get all of the other Pokemon in the other games. In the other game, in Alpha Sapphire. I think we're done with Omega Ruby for now. The world will not be saved by Mackenzie. And now I will have to deal with Zack. I don't have any idea, I do not remember at all where Zack was. So we are done with Omega Ruby for a small little bit here. Actually, I guess... Actually, sorry, I forgot. I should probably go to A Pokemon Center, and B... You know, I guess I didn't have to go. I guess, why did I save then? That would have made it easier. I probably should have just not saved. Right. My bad. Now I have to go to another Pokemon Center again. No, but we still have to get the camera up. God damn it. We still have to get the camera up. Which we can only get through, I think, Gosh dang it. The camera up. Curse you, camera up. Unless I trade a camera up. Can I get a camera up in the other one? And Alpha Sapphire? Let me see. Camera up. Pokemon. Let me see. Is it just exclusive to Omega Ruby, or can I get it in Alpha Sapphire? Because if I can get an Alpha Sapphire, I can trade it with the other item. With the dubious disc. And that way I have both my camera up and my... We'll have to see here, okay. Game locations. Come on, please don't be exclusive. Really? Wait, you just receive it from a team... Received from a Team Magma Grunt at Battle Resort. Okay, let me look at the Battle Resort. And that is only available after you beat the Delta episode, right? Yes. And that's either game you can get it in? Sorry. Pokemon? Yeah, it doesn't matter. You get one, regardless. Yeah, you get a gift Pokemon. So. Following the player, the counters are blah blah blah. On entering the main. Right, because we have camera update. Oh, it's an Alpha Sapphire. Oh, we could get the camera up, the Mega Camera up there. Oh. We don't even have to trade it over, but we already have the Mega Camera up in here, so we might as well. So we'll have that Mega Camera up. So we'll send the Mega Camera, we'll send the camera up from that game over to this game. So yeah, we're done, I think, with this game for a while. We can finish it with Zach. Zach can save the world or whatever. While Mackenzie sits at a Pokemon Center to trade Pokemon for the next little while. I mean, she'll save the world in a different way. I mean, she'll... See, for bringing them over... Hold on. Yeah, well, I mean, we'll have to save the world. Wait, hold on. We'll have to eventually get Thundurus. I don't know when I'm gonna get Aldino, but that's a whole other problem for another day. That's a problem for another day, so... that's when I get back to Gen 5, but... I also have to get do the Carnivore or whatever, the Gallade or whatever. Is that this game? I can't even remember what games I'm in anymore. Like, there's so many different, like, so much. Okay. No, Gallade is Alpha Sapphire. Alpha Sapphire. So yeah, we will save here in the Pokemon Center. And then... So I think if I get a camera up... So I have the camera update. I suppose that should have been a different stream. That should be like considered a different stream, huh? Right, okay, so that was actually something I did achieve last stream. My bad, which means, okay. This is a weird way of doing this, but it does work. I think this will work out in my favor. I don't remember where Zach is. I don't even know if he's beaten the Elite Four yet. To be completely honest with you, I genuinely don't remember where he is. He may not have beaten the Elite Four yet. I would not be surprised if he has not beaten the Elite Four yet. But for now, we're on stream 210, I think? Well, not really, but that's what I have in my notes, so. 10, I think. And that's day 700. I'll add all these. All things I'm supposed to do, so yeah. So I get a Beldum, Rayquaza, Deoxys, and then also a camera up an Alpha Sapphire, which is a weird concept, but sure, we could do it. Alright, that's another. Get a camera out, trade camera out. Camera up, holding. Dubious disc. To Omega Ruby, that way I can trade it back. Yes, okay. There's a weird way of doing this, but this will work, I guess. Yeah, okay. Not catching a camera up, we're getting a camera up. So get camera up. Trade Omega, trade. Holding the dubious disc to Omega Ruby, where I will get the camera update. Well, I have the camera update, and I will grab it, I'll get camera up, then I can just battle anyone, anything. It doesn't really matter at that point what I'm battling. Like a darker red. do. Okay. Yeah, to Omega Ruby. It's a really weird way of doing this. But then we will Mega Evolve it in Omega Ruby. It is weird. It is weird. It is weird, but we will do it this way. Yes. Okay, now we're going back to Alpha Sapphire. I have no idea where we are, though. So, bear with me. I don't know if I've saved yet, but I will save in case I... do I have the thing? Oh, wait, where did I put my... I don't know where... Oh, no, it's still in the console. Okay. So, yes, that is the plan for the rest of the night, is to figure out where the heck we are on... No, don't resume. Yes, I know. Okay, close, yes. We'll resume on Alpha Sapphire, get as far as I can in that. Again, I genuinely don't remember if I've even beaten the Elite Four in this game yet. Anyway. Thought I was gonna get Rayquaza today. I might not get Rayquaza today. That is the Zac thing, I guess, is getting Rayquaza and Beldum and Mega Sharpedo and all that, so... Yes. All of these Pokemon will be. Unless I have to trade... Wait, do I have to trade it over? No, I think you just go to a meteorite for the rest of the forms of Deoxys. Right? I feel like I was supposed to go somewhere. Granite Cave. Oh, I'm your half! So I'm guessing I haven't fought Xenia here yet, so okay. So I'm guessing this is where I am in this game. What Pokemon do I have? I have zero idea what we're doing. Peter, I already had Natasha, Rubus, Katrina. I am wildly underleveled. Okay. Monstro! Okay, Natasha's gonna get a lot of EXP real quick, like, real quick, lack. Okay. Okay. We're gonna go to camera. Okay, so there were other ites I was missing. I was missing more. Okay, which are the ones I'm missing? The Sharpedo I get. Salamence I get. Metagross I think is the only one we're missing as of right now. Obviously, eventually we will need we'll need the other one. What was Metagross again? Okay, so Metagrossite is that the one I get from him? It might be the one I get from the guy. Okay, acquisition, Pokemon League after the first rematch. What? I have to rematch you? Oh god, I don't want to rematch you. Okay, fine, I will rematch you, I guess. I'm assuming that's after the Delta episode, but yes, I guess we're... Yeah, so we're entering the cave. We're dealing with her now, okay? In this game, so... Let's keep going. We gotta go through the whole story again. I'm not reading her dialogue again. I'm assuming it's the same. I'll read, like, the Zac parts, but that's about it. It's probably identical dialogue, otherwise. Oh god, there's so many things I had to do. Okay. Seems like it was true. And the wall painting there. One final reversion. Yada yada yada. Yada 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 yada. Yada 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 yada. Seems like an awful lot, Zac. I don't know. I didn't even close to read that right. Just realized I don't know if I heal anybody. Hopefully I heal people, because we're about to just battle this person out. Okay. Check with Xenia's Pokemon. Tyrantrum was first, right? He only has 3. Let's battle 2 Pokemon trainers. Start with the Tyrantrum. Okay, we're on the same spot in the walkthrough. All the way back at the beginning. Or no, we're on the last page? No, we're on the first. That we were on the right page. Okay. Tyrantrum, Altaria, and Salamence. Ground, Bronxy, etc. We have a Gyro Ball. Oh. I don't know that you're gonna do much, or that you'll even live, but sure, I'll do it. Who do I want to make Mega Evolve? Oh, I just remembered that I haven't actually like done the thing yet. Sorry, my Pokemon thing is out of date. I've got to update this now. That's gonna be Natasha, which is our Steelix. I don't know if the balls aren't gonna necessarily be right. Lupus, our Golem. Our Beedrill. That's why our Porygon. I'm literally waiting to the end of the game to get where I come to. Peter, our Lopunny. Peter's the highest level, I think. So I probably want to give it to Peter. Lopunny. Definitely Mega Evolve at this point, but definitely got another one. And I'm missing one. Oh, frick, I did train over. Sorry, that was a Beedrill. Mega. A lot of potential Mega. Actual Megas, okay. That was the Y. Cory. Don. Peter, our Lopunny. Mega Evolve as well. Finally. Monstro, who can... You know, Monstro. No, Monstro's not actual, and actual Pokemon's name is Kyogre. I don't know why I didn't have replace or on the other one on my team. I probably should be using a high-level Pokemon but at this point, but whatever. Okay. The Pokeballs are probably wrong. I'll fix the Pokeballs after the battle. I know that one's a Master Ball. I can change one of them to a Master Ball. His is a Master Ball. That's the only one I really know. I remember. Anyway, we'll fight. We'll try fighting you. I don't know that you're gonna live, necessarily, but... Punch might literally kill you. Yeah, okay. Fair enough, okay. Excuse me. Let's see what you got. Check moves. Rock and ground. Speak to ground, let's do it. Fight. Right priority move? No. Does that affect me? It's not gonna be very effective. Or it's very effective. Sure, why not? Okay, fine, whatever. What do you got? You got normal, and that's basically it. I don't think you're gonna be weak to normal. Like, you're resistant to normal, in fact. Okay, XY, what do you got? Check moves. You've got a bug, normal, electric. Everything it's resistant to except for bug, okay. Peter. You've got fighting and normal type moves. Oh, fighting type move. Okay, go. Peter, go! You're gonna be, Mega Peter. Mega Peter. Oh. Okay. Oh, Mega Peter. Very funny. Okay, not nothing. Yes. Just don't miss. That's the main thing. Okay, good. You did good. It's gonna give you a lot of EXP. Like an absurd amount. Got your 39. Cool. Okay. Yeah, continue to level 32. That makes sense. Monster gain level 57. That makes sense. Okay. Taria's next. So we beat the Tyrantrum. See how fast we can get through this. Probably no faster, right? I mean, I can't imagine we're gonna get any faster than that. So. how we've been doing it, so. Poison, Steel, Ice, Fairy? That's the first one. Okay, what have we got? We got Katrina. Still normal. Do we have any ice types? I think we do. Not you, okay, there we go. I think Monstro has ice type moves. It does. I remembered correctly. Cool. Monstro, you're up. Buddy. Buddy. Wait, am I looking at Mega? I'm looking at Mega. Crap. I mean, Ice is still fine. Ice is still very effective against this. Okay, cool. Okay. See how far I can get into this. And this will be like next time. Which won't be for like another, like, I think it's Saturday or something? I don't know. I'm not gonna say that right now. Ice Beam. I'm guessing you just die, right? Yeah. Pretty much, yeah. Oh, yeah, okay, I don't know. Salamence, okay, what do we got for Salamence? Salamence is also Dragon. I probably find them, but... yeah, we're fine to keep that one. Intimidate. Follow the dialogue and they usually tell you where to go next. Ice Beam. Okay, that was super effective. Not great, not great. But if I use Aqua Ring or whatever, you can't have Aqua Ring, right? I'll help. Okay, never mind. You're dead. Level 33, good. 37, good. I guess. Doesn't really matter. Excuse me. That's it. Okay, that's what I was looking for. Okay, cool. Bye. You do your dialogue. Really nice, Zach. Okay. Yay, I obtained the meteorite shard. Vibes. 3DS last time, so I might as well enjoy this. Okay, Zach, we will find the mirror share we need. Don't secure it, because you've got mass data sets. Okay, that's where we need to go. Okay. I can just summon a Pokemon that's in my PC, which is wild to me. I should just be using my repels, man. Yeah, at this point I probably should have tried repels. I basically have no reason not to use repels at this point. Oh, I forgot to go to the... the raffle. I need to go to the raffle. I have to do the raffle first. The daily raffle. The raffle, that is daily. The daily raffle. The daily raffle. The daily raffle. When you come doing the daily raffle. Oh, I forgot how far away this is. Okay. Oh, birds! Oh, birds. So funny. Anyway. Okay, Lily Cove. We'll do that and also get maybe more healing items or whatever. And then we'll head to Mosty Space Center and do all of that cutscene again. Heal up my Pokemon, well... Yeah, oh, first things first, yeah, we heal up my Pokemon. We'll save. So I won't have to do all that again. Which Pokemon do I have to keep? I have to keep because you're cut. I don't think there's anything that you have to keep anymore. I don't know who else is. low level, but whatever. I'm not really gonna care about that anymore. We're pretty much in the end game at this point, so I'm just gonna not care at this point. Yeah. I'll do the daily raffle. Oh, no, daily raffle, please. Pokemon Lottery Corner. I'll just go buy some stuff. Eh? Okay. Okay, well. I obtained a Moo Milk. That's not nothing. That's not nothing. See you tomorrow. Well, not really tomorrow, but you know what I mean. Do you sell potions and stuff? You're the potion people, right? Bye. Should probably be buying all of the Pokeballs now. I need 3 of these. Like 7 of these. Just all of the Pokeballs I can. Right now, because we have 2 Pokemon I have to use these on. Okay. 7 of those, none of those. I think I have enough escape rope. Okay, then I need to buy 1 more max. I don't think I need to buy any more max rope. Okay, cool. Nice. Do I have any nuggets to sell? Let's see. No, it doesn't look like I have any nuggets to sell. Okay. Cool. Bye. To the Moss Deep Space Center, I should save. Just bought some something. I just bought some stuff. Okay. Cool. The Moss Deep Space Center! Yay! Moss Deep! Okay. So much faster than surfing. Okay. But yeah. Moss Deep Space Center. We'll get all of the things in this game, and then we'll finally be able to like trade everything. We'll get the camera up. We'll get the we'll get the Beldum. Getting all the other Pokemon in this game. Zach's the one who's doing everything. I wasn't actually expecting Zach to be the one that did everything, but here we are. I genuinely don't need to get a... It's wild that I genuinely don't need to get a camera up in this game. Not now. Not now. Yeah, the fact that I don't need to get another camera up is wild. That I don't have to... Yeah, I don't have to play the rest of the game, and... Oh my god, Ruby, you must be Zach, yada yada yada, blah blah blah, okay. Ah, Zach. Zach ended up with the meteorite. Okay. Okay. So I got once again, blah blah blah, blah. Just gonna watch it on this small screen. I didn't do that last time. No, I'm skipping all of the dialogue. Oh, you're not 3D. Okay. Never mind. Just slightly darker colors. 3-dimensional nonsense. Regular old depth. Blah 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 blah. I did this and that kind of implies the existence of like the link cable was taken from this timeline to the past, trade Pokemon and Legends Arceus, but whatever. Right, young lady, blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. We ran all this a couple days ago. Don't know how much longer I have. I'll save after the cutscene so I don't have to watch it again. So how about it, Zach? Okay, cool. Agree with you. So, yeah, anyway, imagination, yada yada yada. Oops, conversation. Ourselves out then. Murmur. What was that woman? Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Blah blah blah. We have to go to the meteorite fall. Meteor falls. Oh, that's right. I have to battle some more trainers. Forgot about that part. Okay, we sat through all that cutscene, so now it's time for more cutscenes, more battling, and more cutscenes. As I attempt to get all of the Pokemon that I can, we will have to get Aldino another time, and a few Gen 5 Pokemon we have. Maybe a couple Gen 6 Pokemon? I don't think so, actually. I don't think we got okay, whatever. The flute, flute, okay. I don't know why I did that, but Meteor Falls, let's do this. Definitely not forget where the other town is. After it, okay. It's on the other side of the map. How do they do this, man? Close. Not chimney. That's the tunnel. That's the reserve tunnel. That's Lava Ridge. Easier to probably fly or to fly here, but I genuinely don't remember where everything is. No, it's over here, isn't it? Beep beep. Okay, good. Okay. 45 more minutes. That's probably a little less. Well, maybe about 45. I didn't leave my 3DS on the whole time, so we might have about 45 more minutes. Try to get as far as we can. Oh, I didn't... wait, I went the wrong area. Whatever, it's fine. How close is the falls? Not that far, okay, well... Just bite there, I guess. It's fine, don't worry about it. Now we bring in the repel. Go through the whole thing. Yes. I don't really need it right now, but I will soon when I get to the cave, so. I'll go for the waterfall. Down here. Do I have waterfall? Oh, wait, I didn't even think about it. I have a Pokemon with... Oh, crap, I don't have a Pokemon with Surf, do I? Gosh darn it, I need a Pokemon with Surf. I don't even know if I have a Pokemon with... Where's the end? Where's the exit again? There. Okay, I need to go to the nearest town and grab a Pokemon with Surf and Waterfall. If I ever had one. I think I had to get a Waterfall move and get to the Elite Four, so... Get ever closer. It's gonna be weird coming back here after, like, playing the other games. Yeah, Fall Over Town's fine. Beep, 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 beep. There we go. That'll work. Just swap a few Pokemon, unfortunately. I'm keeping Kyogre. Yeah, no, I'm not getting rid of Kyogre. Not a chance. Wait, wait, have I not ever? Oh my god, I finally encountered the actual person in this game. I forgot that I never did. Okay, you're Zach. I can see that you're a trainer. I forgot that I never actually encountered her in this game before. Net. Sword system. At home. My house is on market. Cool. I just sworn there was something I needed. The post game, whatever. The Net's PC. Okay. Organize boxes. Okay, cool. That's the button for doing everything. So. Who's the babiest of those? Okay, so this is obviously. Well, this one. I need to keep you. I guess I can move you into here. I need to figure out who has my. You're the. Okay, I need to bring back. I'm bringing back my starter. Welcome back to the team, Buckaroo. Okay, are there any other lower level Pokemon? I probably should figure that. Okay, I can probably put you back. Although keeping you in, I think we're trading, right? So it's easier to trade. Yeah, fine. Okay. Do I need? I don't think I need either. Well, you're pretty low still. I can put you back, I think. Yes. Yes, I can put you back. Okay. Move. Nothing doing right. So, waiting for Sharpedo for you. Organized by like level. Not organized by level. That's actually cool that you can search Pokemon, huh? You're level 40, you're level 57, you're level 56. I guess I can do them in order like this way. This is gonna be probably the rest of the stream. Wait, hold on, you're 56? Oh, no, my bad. Oh gosh. Oh, that's the battle box. I see. Might be my lowest level Pokemon. I'll see. Level 41. Oops. Level 42. Level 55. Level 56. Level 57. Level 30, which is above her, but behind everybody else. I hope organization is not the only thing for those streams, but we'll see. Sableye. Latias, 53, which is 40 than Sableye. Can't do Curly. We need to keep Curly in the box so don't accidentally make it a Gallade. Right. Or a Gardevoir, rather. Right, you have to stay in the box. I might be keeping you. I might be bringing back Golem, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay, these are both 56, okay. Level 39, which I think was like here-ish. 39, 40, 1, 2, no, probably be the last Pokemon that I like switch out. Unless I need to actually bring them back, but 39. Let's see what I think after Lopunny. That's on par with Lopunny. Okay. So yeah, I think we're actually bringing Golden back. Whoops. The Golem is next on our list. It's still lowest that is safe to bring out. So. Records. Alright. Move everybody around again. So you're 21. Switch you. You. Natasha, let's look at all the balls. Pokeballs. So Natasha is that's still consistent. You are in actually the other kind of ball, okay. Alright, this one. An Ultra Ball, but a Great Ball. You are in a Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball. Kyogre, okay. So yeah, the only thing is that we have to remove that Kyogre over here. This Kyogre. Get that one. And then use that, put Master Ball, and finally we'll put in Maddie, our Swampert, which is a Mega Swampert. Pokeball. So let us move on. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Save real quick. Before we head into the moss. No, I have a meteorite falls. We're going back to the meteorite falls. We could just probably run there, but whatever. Or bike there or whatever, but it's fine, whatever. Yeah, well, we've done all that reorganization. Basically no reason. Obviously, we'll swap Lopunny for Slobber, but you know, whatever. We're going to Meteor Falls, that's where I'm landing. Not landing in any other towns or any other routes. I'm landing at the cave. Okay, good. That's the Pokédex. I don't need the Pokédex right now. It's cool and all, but I don't need the Pokédex right now. What the heck? I accidentally pressed the button, sorry. My bad, Cool. Okay. What level, like, 1 or whatever? What was it, like 21 or something? I might be running in every Pokemon that I can. Unfortunately. Such a low level Pokemon. I guess. Blue Sea, Surf. Bada bing, bada boom. We gotta fight you, go down, yep. Strong container, do our training. If we can do this. Okay. Nicholas, the Flygon. I don't want to make it. It's not really worth bringing this to be Mega until we're like probably closer to level, like we're 10 levels. Ice Dragon is good. None of those. Ground is a no. We can just try to fight, I guess, if we want to. We got Ghost. We got Gyro Ball. We got Rock 2. Let's do Rock 2, I guess. Wait, hold on. Okay, yeah, I think we're good. Do Rock 2, right? No, do not do Rock 2. Gyro Ball is better. Also get stabbed. Assuming I don't die. Why do I even try? Okay. Natasha's always gonna faint. I feel so bad. Natasha's always gonna faint. Second move, what do you got? Rock and ground. You're immune to ground and resistant to rock. Your Rufus is not a good choice for this one. Bit. Trina. Tech moves, you've got normal and psychic. Normal's fine. But if we're gonna do type advantages, we probably want. We're gonna focus on, like, probably, if we're gonna swap Pokemon, we might as well swap it to something that is type effective if we can. We might not be able to. You've got an ice type, so yeah, we want to use Monster. More powerful Pokemon. So keep being more powerful. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Anyway. For how many revives I have. Potion, I guess. It's so little HP. Anyway. Implies I've been here before. Have I been here before? I've been here before? Wild. Shit. Why do you do this to me? I don't know if I say it, to be honest with you. That fight? Gyro Ball. Can I do it? Oh, you're probably gonna kill me, right? If I live. Oh gosh dang. Okay, that was sick. I'm sorry, that was sick as hell. I was not expecting that to be the move. Before it was just like a ball of energy or whatever. But that was sick as hell. Do that again. Do that again. That was cool though. That was really cool. I'm so happy I did that. I'm so happy I did this. Let's find out what you're weak to. asshole bastards won't let me leave. I learned there was some sort of system why you can't just run away versus run away. I can't remember exactly what it is though. Rock? I have good news! You have many rock moves! Maybe you can take it down. 27 levels ahead. Rock throw. Can't leave anyway, so good luck to you. Hell yeah! Do it again. It's not very effective. Woo! Cool. Bye, Goldman. Yay! Congratulations, Lucas. Is that ABB frog, anybody? No, not yet. I should probably revive you now. Yeah, let's revive you again. I'll give you another potion. I'll save it anyway. I was like, I got a level, I might as well save. Cutscene, it's just cutscenes. Just story, Zach. This has got a 3D effect. Rayquaza. Oh, when the song's up. You've read all this before. Just read all this before. Read all this before. Read all this. Yes, we read all this. Yes, we read all this before. We read all this. We read all this. The lore keeper. It's Xenia. It's Xenia. Or Rayquaza. We did all this. We did all this. We read all this. We read all this. I think your dad's playthrough. I believe you're heading to your dad's house. Yes. And everything, okay. Mansion, blah, blah, yeah, gonna head back to Devon, okay. Cool, bye, old man. Bye, old man. One way out of here, anyway. Shit, we could go the actual way out of here. I don't need to, though. This is just the way out, right? Not. Sorry, wrong one. I should wear both, but. Yes, please. And then we go to Devon. Oh, I forgot to save after all that dialogue. Into the Devon Corporation, heal. Oh yeah, I guess I didn't need to heal, did I? No, I didn't. Didn't need to waste the revive. And to Rustboro, which I believe is over. It's Verdant Turf. This one has to be. No, that's Petalburg. That's Old Dale. Devon's over here, right? Or Rustboro, whatever. I mean, that is the Devon, but yeah. The Devon Corporation. We'll heal up our Pokemon. We'll head to the Devon Corporation to do the multi-battle if I can. Heal them up, save. We'll try to do the multi-battle. Hopefully we have enough time for that. Alright. doing this. Okay. Okay, how that works. Okay. Okay. Save. Of all that is good in this world, save. So 1-on-1 for like 4 times, and then it's a 1-on-6 for some reason. Not wholly unfair, but whatever. Watch. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Yo, geek. I assume you all have the same dialogue. It's a really cool battle. No, I actually have to leave, don't I? Because to fix this. Okay. Give me a second. Curse this thing. For breaking. That was really, we were so close too. I don't have to do all those things again. Okay, this should just work. I should just be able to turn it back on. Do this, and then this. No, don't make me go through the whole thing again. Turn off my console and all that. Fine, I will close. I will turn off my console, then turn it back on. So, I saw the Birdcage yesterday. Pretty good movie. Kind of weird movie. It's kind of aged weird. It's definitely like a 90s movie, and like definitely couldn't be remade today, at least not in present day anyway. But yeah, it's a weird movie. Very funny, very entertaining, but it's a very strange movie. Yes. What's been going on? An interview today. That was interesting. That hopefully I get that job. I mean, kind of. I mean, I'm not really all that terribly excited to get that job because then I don't have a ton of time to work on my videos, but I'll make it work. Excuse me. Plus, I get summers off, which you know, not entirely thrilled about. I mean, it's great, but like, yikes. But yikes. Okay. Then tomorrow it's Tuesday. I'm cooking a bunch of meals and then cleaning my apartment. Working tomorrow. I'll go back to work. I haven't worked since like Thursday or Saturday. So, had a couple days off and now go back to work tomorrow. I guess we can talk about the next stream. See if my dad's texting me back about the DHS. I don't know. Anyway. It might be. I mean, he might. We might. So my dad has the screwdriver that I need. So maybe that'll be like Father's Day. Like I might get it at Father's Day. Or that Father's Day weekend or whatever. That'd probably be the next time we can actually do it. Which is fine. So yeah, I think the next stream is Saturday. It's Gallade. I'm like 100% sure that's accurate. So pretty busy most of this week. Today I was just lucky that I wasn't busy for a couple hours. Right, so still on, technically. Don't love that. Okay. So, what's been going on? Went to an art festival, local art festival. Didn't buy anything. Ate at a food truck that I'm fairly certain used an AI logo, or at least a logo that like was AI, but then they like hired an artist to like trace it over or whatever to be like a real character rather than AI's garbled mess that probably was like the AI design from like 2 years ago or whatever. It's like that super cutesy kind of character kind of thing like you'd find in an AI. Maybe it's not AI. I don't want to accuse a local business of using AI, but okay. Am I in any hurry to get this done? I mean, not really. I mean, yeah, because, like, once I get really, because I'm not, because, like, it's all about getting the other ones. Like, yeah, I'll probably get it brought to me at Father's Day weekend, so it'll probably be a couple more weeks, which is only, like, 4 streams away, which we might even get very much further than this tonight, so we'll see. I mean, depending on how long the stream goes. My thing is not turned off yet. Yeah, depending on how long the stream is tonight, that will determine if I can film tonight. If not, then it will be really late. Tomorrow's video will be really late. It might still be really late, even if I can't, because, like, I have a lot to do. To work on the Dene script. That's about it that I can do. Like, the Dene is the last of the 13, which is interesting. And so, like, I can only do 13 episodes per script on Celtics, which is the program I use. Which is unfortunate, because it means we have to split it up over 13. It's also why a lot of what I was behind, or thought I was behind, I guess. Technically, I was actually ahead. Whoops. I really wish they had announced it earlier. I mean, like, I didn't know. It would have saved me so much time and so much stress if I had known that they were going to release the announce the new Pokemon. I mean, a lot of people suspected they would. It had been a few years since Scarlet and Violet came out. Winds and Waves, pretty cool name. I don't know if I actually really commented on that. You know, it's a fine name. It's simple, you know. Winds, Waves is like 1-2 syllable words. Winds, Waves, I think it's only 1 syllable each. So, you know, very simple, red, blue kind of, you know, that kind of very singular syllable kind of thing. I like doing 1 or 2 syllable words. Emerald, 3 Emerald. Sapphire, that's Ruby. Oh, that one's an exception. But yeah, 1 to 3 syllable words. I don't think I go that far, though. Beyond that. Gold, silver, crystal. That was 2 as well. And then sun, moon. I'm skipping a cute. Diamond, pearl. Diamond? I guess, is that diamond? I don't know how. Would you pronounce it 1 or 2 syllables? I don't know. I don't know. Platinum, I guess, depending on how you pronounce platinum. Then diamond, pearl, platinum, XY, those are just letters. And sun, moon, ultra sun, ultra moon, those are 3 syllables. I guess heart gold, soul silver, leaf green, fire red, yeah. Then what was 8? 8 was sword shield, scarlet violet, yeah. So, yeah. Between 1 and 3 syllable words. Very simple, probably, you know, very easy for a 10-year-old to read, you know. Or a kid younger than that, I suppose. There are a lot of dark Pokedex entries, man. Still shutting down. Oh boy. Could take a while. I think I can really do but wait. Could talk about stories while we're waiting. I guess I can bring in the text. Yep. Let's find out what today's day is. What character will we talk about? We will talk about whatever character is of the day. So it is National Best Friends Day, National Upsy Daisy Day, National Name Your Poison Day, and that's it. So best friends? Okay, we could do like Crystal or something. I don't remember if we've done Crystal yet. I don't remember how much I've actually read of some of these. But we can go through these. Sure, why not? Um, hopefully I don't have to do a stream tomorrow, like, on my main channel. I might have to do it for Halucha. I don't know. We'll see. Again, it all kind of depends on how long this takes. We have a little bit of time, but I don't really know how much more battery I have. I really hope I can do all, like, 4 battles in a row or whatever it is. Okay, so we want to do... I know, that was the wrong. Not TV, but we want to do profiles. Okay. Yep. Okay, profiles. We're doing Democrat. Doing... Well, we can do Theo, I guess. I may have done Theo already, but... Start with timeline 1. Okay. Or, wait, hold on. Jim. I don't think we've done Jim yet. Jim had a best friend once. Jim had a best friend once. Oh, yes, Jim did. Sorry. Okay. The basics. Okay. James Ambrosius III, more commonly known as Jim, or Mr. M, or Mr. A. How am I gonna do this? I need to, like... How do I do this? How do I do this? There's a way to, like, do the different views or whatever. Or I can, like, move this over to, like... So I can actually see the chat if anyone comes in. Okay, okay, that works. Okay. Yeah, that works. Okay. I can barely read it, but yeah, I mean, I can't. We're gonna have to take this. We're gonna have to not do the spell check while I do this then. Because it's very small otherwise. Okay. Okay, more commonly known as Jim or Mr. A, is the father of Theo. You know, actually, first let me get some water before we start this. Take a little break. Get some water, maybe go to the bathroom. I'm back. Let's do this. Okay. He's also the current president of W Corps. Oh, wait, sorry. Okay. Is the father of Theodore Ambrosius III, more commonly known as Theo, is the main protagonist of the Misadventures of Crystal and Theo. He's also Jim's son. He's also the president of W Corp. This is Jim I'm referring to. I probably should specify that. Jim is also. So we did have another name there. Excuse me. I guess I can't get rid of it. Well, I can get rid of it this way. Huh? Something happening? I don't know. Okay. Accept my deletion. Yes, okay. What's happening? Like a little glitch or something in the corner. Anyway. Jim is also the current president of W Corp. So, the W Corporation, more commonly known as W Corp, is a recurring location in the Misadventures of Crystal and Theo. It's also the company that grants wishes and makes wands. He's a magical human classified as a wizard. Wizard is a magical human classified as good. He was born on January 10th, 1801. Capital City. Capital City is the tentative name of the central city of the Misadventures of Crystal and Theo, the only city in Terra Bronzeworth and Redacted, and a minor city in Bronzeworth and the May and Rob movie. It's also the capital of the magical realm. It's also the hometown of Jim and Theo. Midsta is the magical realm's equivalent of North America. It's also the main continent of the Misadventures of Crystal and Theo, the only continent in Redacted in Terra Bronzeworth, and a minor continent in Bronzeworth and the May and Rob movie. It's also the home continent of Jim and Theo. The magical realm. Yep. The magical realm is the main world of the Misadventures of Crystal and Theo, the only world of Redacted and Terra Bronzeworth, a significant world in Bronzeworth, and a minor world in the May and Rob movie. It's also the home world of Jim and Theo. In Season 1, the first half of Season 2, possibly until Redacted, and maybe Amy rewritten, and the Season 2 to 3 summer special, he's 239 years old. At this age, magical humans resemble humans at 46.4 years old. Jim is also this age in the post-series TV movie. It might be 240 in the might be 240. At this age, magical humans resemble 46.5 years old. In the Season 2 half-season finale, in the second half of Season 2, but only until Redacted. Amy written and a Season 3 or 4 episode, but only if it occurs in the first half of Season 3. Jim might also be this age in the post-series TV movie, in a Season 3 or 4 episode, and Sad Newts and Lost Memories. He's 241 years old. At this age, magical humans resemble humans at 46.6 years old. But only if the former occurs in the second half of Season 3 or the first half of Season 4. Besides these ages, Jim appears at different ages in episodes where the Misadventures of Theo and Crystal go back in time. Go back in time. Because it's episodes, yeah. The ages he is in those episodes are possibly a few minutes after his birth to 99 years old. That's at this age, magical humans resemble humans at 32.4 years old. 100 years old. It's the 11th one. Okay. Actually, it just shows it to me, doesn't it? At this age, magical humans resemble humans at 32.5 years old. 226. At this age, magical humans resemble humans at 45.1 years old. And maybe 227 years old. At this age, magical humans resemble humans at 45.2 years old. And 229. At this age, magical humans resemble humans at 45.4 years old through 238 years old. At this age, magical humans resemble humans at 46.3 years old. What? What? I don't know what Google sent me a notification. Okay. I should have those off. I don't know why it allows me to have notifications when I'm streaming, but whatever. I mean, it's part of the experience, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, with definitely one age between 234. This age, magical humans resemble humans at 45.9 years old. I don't know. That should probably be after the years old, huh? So remove that. Yeah, accept deletion. Okay. And 237 years old. So that's... Sorry. That is... At this age, magical humans resemble humans at 46.2 years old. Throughout his childhood, Jim lived in the Ambrosius house. The Ambrosius house is a significant location in the misadventures of Crystal and Theo. It's also the current home of Jim and Theo and Jim's childhood home, which is in Capital City. In the summer of 1819, he left and moved into an apartment with his girlfriend, June Auclair. What? What? Okay, that's a weird thing. Like the pop-up. Oh, because it does the added rather than the right. Because I added that. Okay, so June Ambrosius, née Auclair, is Jim's wife. She's also Theo's mother. Still, okay. In the summer, or no, we did that already. In 1901 or 1902, Jim moved back into the Ambrosius house. He lives in the upper middle class. Physical appearance: Jim is a brunette Caucasian with blue eyes. He has short, straight hair. He's about 5'7". In a season 2 or 3 episode, assuming timeline 1, Jim is in this episode. When Jim is average Jim, his height is the average height of a 46-year-old man. That's average Jim as a alias. I don't know. So in the episode, I think Theo wishes that his family was average or something like that. And so it makes his whole family literally average. It's very funny. Yeah. Anyway, personality. Jim likes his family and his job. He dislikes his enemies. He went to Spell Elementary School, Spell Elementary School is, I should say, the unofficial name, because that is a fairly odd parents location. Yeah, I don't have an actual official name for it yet. Of a minor location in the Misadventures of Crystal and Theo. It's also the Magical Realms equivalent of elementary school and the former school of Jim and Theo. And then the Merlin, yeah, I can say that. And the Merlin Academy of Fine Magic. The Merlin Academy of Fine Magic is a minor location in the Misadventures of Crystal and Theo. It's also the secondary school for students classified as good. Okay. Or good, I guess. Yeah, that's where the camera is. Right. Because I can't see whatever. Or would it have to be like, how far do you go? So we have to be like here, good? Okay. Anyway. It's in quotes. It's also the former school of Jim and June and Theo's current school. Well, this is true in the present-day storyline. A few episodes go back in time. In Amy rewritten, Jim may appear between 5 and 18 years old, meaning he would attend these schools. In the first and possibly second part of the season 2 two-part episode, in June's choice, Jim will appear at the Merlin Academy. His biggest fear is that Lucius Black... whoops, I dropped the stylus. Whatever, I don't need it right now. I'll pick it up when I need it. Oh, my phone. It's nothing important. Okay. Sorry. Lucius Black is the current president and former assistant manager of the Bad Luck Corporation. He's also Jim's archenemy and Jude's enemy. Will win. Jim is kind, but can be bossy sometimes. He's excellent at public speaking. Family relationships. Jim's mother is Marion Ambrosius. Mary Ambrosius is the current employee resources manager and former acting president at W Corp. She's also Jim's mother, June's mother-in-law, and Theo's paternal grandmother, with whom he shares a close bond. His father is Will Ambrosius. William Ambrosius III, commonly known as Will, is the former president of W Corp. He's also Jim's father, Theo's paternal grandfather, June's father-in-law, and Marion's husband, who at first Jim didn't have the best relationship with. However, after June came into his life, their relationship got better. His uncle is Redacted, whom Jim rarely sees but still likes. His father-in-law is Alistair Auclair. Alistair Auclair is a famous singer. He's also Jim's father-in-law, Theo's maternal grandfather, and June's father, who Jim has an okay relationship with. His mother-in-law is Mrs. O'Clair. Mrs. O'Clair is a famous singer. She's also Jim's mother-in-law, Theo's maternal grandmother, June's mother, and Alistair's wife, who he has an okay relationship with. His paternal grandfather is Theodore Ambrosius II. Theodore Ambrosius II is the current CEO and former president and employee resources manager at W Corp. He's also Jim's paternal grandfather, Theo's great-grandfather, Marion's... Oh, sorry, because I've been a little long. Okay. Marion's father-in-law and the father of Will and Redacted, with whom Jim usually has a good relationship unless they discuss W Corp. His paternal grandmother is Redacted. Redacted Ambrosius, I guess. Redacted Ambrosius is Theodore's wife. She's also Jim's paternal grandmother, Theo's great-grandmother, Marion's mother-in-law, and Will and Redacted's mother. Yeah, I said Will and Redacted, right? I think I said. Whom he treats more like a servant than a family member. One of his great-grandfathers is Jim Ambrosius II. It's gonna get longer, people. Okay, excuse me. Not the burp, the list of family members. Okay. Anyway, Jim Ambrosius II is the former CEO, president, and employee resources manager of W Corp. He's also Jim's father, great-grandfather, Theo's great-great-grandfather, the paternal grandfather of Will and Redacted, Theodore's father, and Redacted's father-in-law. I didn't say anything, you heard nothing. Whom Jim fears. Another of his great-grandfathers, no one's gonna watch this anyway, is Redacted. Redacted is Redacted's father. He's also Jim's great-grandfather, Theo's great-great-grandfather, Will and Redacted's maternal grandfather, and Theodore's father-in-law, with whom Jim has a good relationship. One of his great-grandmothers is Elizabeth Ambrosius. Elizabeth Ambrosius is a former wand builder at W Corp. She's also Jim's great-grandmother, Theo's great-great-grandmother, the paternal grandmother of Will and Redacted, Theodore's mother, Redacted's mother-in-law, and the wife of James, whom he respects. One of his great-great-grandfathers is William Ambrosius II. William Ambrosius II is the founder of W Corp. He's also Jim's great-great-grandfather, Theo's great-great-great-grandfather, the great-grandfather of Will and Redacted, Theodore's paternal grandfather, and the father of James and Elizabeth's father-in-law. Whom Jim looks up to as William founded W Corp. Whom Jim looks up to as William founded W Corp. One of his great-great-grandmothers is Mrs. Ambrosius. Mrs. Ambrosius is the wife of William Ambrosius II. She's also Jim's great-great-grandmother, Theodore's great-great-grandmother, I think that's right, 3 greats, the great-grandmother of Will and Redacted, Theodore's paternal grandmother, the mother of James and Elizabeth's mother-in-law, with whom he had a good relationship. One of Jim's great-great-great-grandfathers is Theodore Ambrosius I. Theodore Ambrosius I is the inventor of the wand. He's also Jim's great-great-great-grandfather, Theo's great-great-great-great-grandfather, the great-great-grandfather of Will and Redacted, the great-grandfather of Theodore Ambrosius II, the paternal grandfather of James, the father of William Ambrosius II, and father-in-law of Mrs. Ambrosius, whom Jim looks up to, as Theodore invented the wand. One of Jim's great-great-great-grandmothers is Eleanor Ambrosius. Eleanor is a former head librarian of the Capital City Public Library and a bookkeeping system inventor. That seems probably an inventor of a bookkeeping system would make more sense, but whatever. She's also Jim's great-great-great-grandmother, Theo's great-great-great-great-grandmother, the great-great-grandmother of Will and Redacted, great-grandmother of Theodore Ambrosius II, the paternal grandmother of James, mother of William Ambrosius II, mother-in-law of Mrs. Ambrosius, and wife of Theodore Ambrosius I, whom he liked because she supported him. One of his great-great-great-grandfathers was James Ambrosius I. So James Ambrosius I was a self-employed inventor. He's also Jim's great-great-great-great-grandfather, Theodore's great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, the great-great-great-grandfather of Will and Redacted, great-great-grandfather of Theodore Ambrosius II, great-grandfather of James Ambrosius II, the paternal grandfather of William Ambrosius II, father of Theodore Ambrosius I and Eleanor's father-in-law. One of Jim's great-great-great-great-grandmothers was Catherine Ambrosius. Catherine Ambrosius, née Canmore, is the wife of James Ambrosius I. She's also Jim's great-great-great-great-grandmother, Theo's great-great-great-great-great-grandmother, a great-great-great-grandmother of Will and Redacted, great-great-grandmother of Theodore Ambrosius II, great-grandmother of James Ambrosius II, paternal grandmother of William Ambrosius II, mother of Theodore Ambrosius I, and Eleanor's mother-in-law, whom Jim feared. Another of Jim's great-great-great-great-grandmothers was Asta. Asta is a former head librarian at the Capital City Public Library. She's also Jim's great-great-great-great-grandmother, Theo's great-great-great-great-great-grandmother, a great-great-great-grandmother of Will and redacted, I said redacted, you heard nothing. Great-great-grandmother of Theodore Ambrosius II, great-grandmother of James Ambrosius II, the maternal grandmother of William Ambrosius II, mother-in-law of Theodore Ambrosius I, and Eleanor's mother. I need some water. Still trying to shut down. If we're here in 7 hours, I think it's fair to shut this thing down manually. Like 9 more hours. Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with sitting here for 9 hours. I'm not actually, but, I'll do it. Okay, we did ask, okay. Whom he had an unknown relationship with. One of his great-great-great-great-great-grandfathers was William Ambrosius I. William Ambrosius I was a teacher. He's also Jim's great-great-great-great-great-grandfather. Theo's great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather. A great-great-great-great-great-grandfather of Will and Redacted. Great-great-great-grandfather of Theodore Ambrosius II. Great-great-grandfather of James Ambrosius II. Great-grandfather of William Ambrosius II. Paternal grandfather of Theodore Ambrosius I. Father of James Ambrosius I. And Catherine's father-in-law. Another of Jim's great-great-great-great-great-grandfathers was Edwin Canmore. Edwin Canmore is Jim's great-great-great-great-great-grandfather. Theo's great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather. A great-great-great-great-grandfather of Will and Redacted. A great-great-great-grandfather of Theodore Ambrosius II. Okay. Great-great-grandfather of James Ambrosius II. Great-grandfather of William Ambrosius II. The maternal grandfather of Theodore Ambrosius I. Father-in-law of James Ambrosius I and Catherine's father, whom Jim had an unknown relationship with. One of Jim's great-great-great-great-great-grandmothers was Robin Ambrosius I. Nope, she's just Robin Ambrosius. There's no first. Robin Ambrosius is the wife of William Ambrosius I. She's also Jim's great-great-great-great-great-grandmother, Theo's great-great-great-great-great-grandmother, a great-great-great-great-grandmother of Will and Redacted, her great-great-great-grandmother of Theodore Ambrosius II, great-great-grandmother of James Ambrosius II, great-grandmother of William Ambrosius II, the paternal grandmother of Theodore Ambrosius I, mother of James Ambrosius I, and Catherine's mother-in-law, whom he liked because she supported him. Another of his great-great-great-great-great-grandmothers was Mrs. Canmore. Okay. Mrs. Canmore is Jim's great-great-great-great-great-grandmother, Theo's great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmother, a great-great-great-great-grandmother of Will and Redacted, great-great-great-grandmother of Theodore Ambrosius II, great-great-grandmother of James Ambrosius II, great-grandmother of William Ambrosius II, the maternal grandmother of Theodore Ambrosius I, mother-in-law of James Ambrosius I, Catherine's mother, and Edwin's wife, whom he didn't have a relationship with as she died long before he was born. And that is it for the families. Social relationships. Jim is a heterosexual who's married to June Ambrosius. While this is the case throughout the present-day storyline, There are a few flashback episodes in 1 or 2 of those episodes. He's single in 1 or 2 episodes. He's dating June. Jim's son is Theo. When Jim was a kid, his best friend, here we go, best friend, was Charles Rose. Charles Rose is Jim's childhood friend. It's important for later. I really should say childhood best friend, huh? It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Anyway, go back. Bring back. Okay. Whom Jim met at Spell Elementary School. His enemies are Timothy Bronsworth I. So, Timothy Bronsworth I is the current president of Bronsworth Realty. He's also the enemy of Jim, June, and Lucius. And Lucius, whom Jim met at Spell Elementary School, Madame Naysaya, Natalie Thorne, more commonly known as Madame Naysaya, is the owner of a factory that makes magical items that aren't wands or bad luck items, and a convicted attempted thief. She's also an enemy of Jim and Lucius, who tried to trick him out of giving him the rights to wands. Crystal Rose. Crystal Rose is the female protagonist of the misadventures of Crystal and Theo. She's also Theo's best friend and the daughter of Charles. And the Tooth Fairy and Redacted, who are fairies, which Jim thinks gives him a reason to blame them for the punishment of Charles and Luma Rose. Luma Rose is a former actress. She's also June's friend from their time at the Merlin Academy, the wife of Charles, Crystal's mother, the Tooth Fairy's sister, and the Redacted's daughter. Or Redacted's daughter, whatever. However you want to look at it. Oh, it's dying. It's okay. Apparently it can die while it's turning off. What the heck? What the heck? How are you able to do that? It'll die, I guess. I guess it might just die. The battery might just die on us. Fine, whatever. So we're not going to be here for much longer. It'll either die on itself, or it'll shut down properly. I don't know. One of the two will happen. We'll have to do the quadruple battle later. Whatever. We'll have to do the next half tomorrow. And Saturday, sorry, next stream. Anyway, personality characteristics. Jim is quite intelligent. He's particularly good at running W Corp. He's very self-confident. A combination of logic and emotion controls him. Emotional characteristics. Jim is an introvert. He usually deals with anger by yelling. However, it's difficult to get him to that point. He regularly deals with sadness by hiding it. He deals with conflict by confronting it. Depending on the type of loss, he deals with it differently. In the sense of loss in competition, he just keeps pushing forward until he wins again. In the sense of losing a family member, he cries one of the few times he does this. Will's legacy is what motivates Jim. Working and spending time with his family, more June than the rest, is what makes him happy. He's very judgmental of others. He's very generous, mainly because he's forbidden from being selfish. He's almost always polite. Skills. While Jim doesn't often fight, when he does, he uses both his wits and his magic to fight. He's quite technologically knowledgeable, as he had to study the parts of a wand. He's excellent at secrecy, as he has quite a few secrets, most of which relate to W Corp. Studied the parts of a wand is a bit weird. I'll have to rewrite that at some point. Anyway. Role in the series. Being Theo's father, Jim appears numerous times in the series. In fact, he's in every episode that contains Crystal and or Theo, as Jim is in the title sequence. In the title sequence, after Theo and Crystal enter the bus, Theo is about to use his wand. Ooh, another footnote. Theo's wand is a unique wand that Jim built for Theo to get out of the bus, but Jim and June take the wand away. In the first episode, Theo and Crystal play a prank on Mr. Hagen. Mr. Richard Hagen is the principal of the Merlin Academy of Fine Magic, he sends them to his office. When Theo and Crystal are outside Mr. Hagen's office, Jim and June arrive at the Merlin Academy of Fine Magic. Outside, Jim leaves the carriage he and June took to get to the school. He then mentions that he dislikes the school and helps June out of the carriage inside on their way to entering Mr. Hagen's office. Jim says Theodore to Theo, and Theo says Dad. Dad. Trying to fake politeness, but definitely knows he's in trouble. Anyway, when Jim and June enter the office, Theo says he must be angry. Referring to Jim in the office, Mr. Hagen tells them about what Theo and Crystal did. Jim yells, "He did what?" Mr. Hagen calls Theo in. After Theo enters, Mr. Hagen asks, "Theodore, what do you have to say for yourself?" Theo tells Mr. Hagen to call him Theo, and then says it was Crystal's idea. Jim says that Theo is no longer allowed to hang out with Crystal, but Theo and June think this is too much. Jim then says that he and June, will be taking Theo's wand. Jim proceeds to do so. Jim then says they should talk about how Theo's life will change. Mr. Hagen says he needs to make a call, and then goes to his crystal ball. Soon after, Principal Hagen tells Theo, June, and Jim to wait outside his office. They do so. Here they see the Tooth Fairy and Redacted. Jim and June glare at the Tooth Fairy and Redacted, who glare back. After Mr. Hagen deals with Crystal, he requests that Theo, June, and Jim come back in. Once they do, he tells the six that Theo and Crystal will be starting to attend the Hecate Academy of Black Magic. I think that's safe to say, right? Yeah, that's okay. Okay. The Hecate Academy of Black Magic is a central location in the misadventures of Crystal and Theo. It's also the bad equivalent of the Merlin Academy. It's also the former school of Lucius, and starting in the first episode, the current school of Theo and Crystal. The next day, the six are surprised. After the meeting, Jim, June, and Theo go to clean out his locker. 7 hours later, at the Ambrosius house, Theo mentions that he avoids making Jim angry because Theo dislikes it when Jim gives a several-hour lecture. There might be at least one picture of Jim in the scene and or the next one. Ooh. Emergency vehicles. Sorry, I don't know what the hell that was, but anyway, in the Friday the 13th special, Jim is mentioned. In a season 1 episode, it's Take Your Child to Work Day. For the mothers, Jim might be in at least one photo at the Ambrosius house. In a season 1 episode, Jim is reading the newspaper in the Ambrosius house living room one morning when Marion materializes into the Ambrosius house foyer. So newspaper, a little outdated in that. So I wrote most of this like a decade ago. So like, I don't know how common newspapers would be in the present. I mean, he might still read the newspaper because was born in the 19th century. But like, you know, I don't know how common they'd be anymore. We might have to throw in some like modern technology for this. I don't want to have too much modern technology. It's beeping. It'll die soon. But you know, I want to keep this kind of relatively, not so much modern technology. Like, tablets appear, but they're like specialty things. Like, it's a special item. It's not like a commonplace thing. Although his company's the one that builds it, so he probably has a tablet. I don't know. I want to keep away the technology. Like, there's no cell phones in this world. It's like, I feel like escapism isn't just made for adults. I think kids also need some escapism. And, like, I think cell phones are in way too many shows. They're like, oftentimes they're shoved into way too many shows. Like, oh, kid gets sent to a magical world. Well, here's them using their cell phone for a whole episode. Like, it's one thing if it's like they use their phone in like the first episode, it doesn't work, and they never use it again. But like things like Amphibia. I'm thinking really like Amphibia. Like they really use that phone way too much in that series. Anne's phone. Anyway, I just think it's too many cell phones in modern media. I know it's like everywhere. It's like ambiguous, or not ambiguous. What is it? Ubiquitous with like modern society. But like, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it myself. Anyway, Jim asks, Mom. Soon Marion hugs Jim, but because she's larger than him, he says, "You're crushing me." She lets go and apologizes. Soon Jim asks why Marion is there. Jim is also likely in at least one photo at the Ambrosius house. Oh, right. This is just the episode that introduces Marion. Marion, not Miriam. Marion. Like the maid. I think that was Maid Marion, right? Yeah, anyway. Yeah, I don't know much about the episode beyond just the introduction scene. Yeah. Anyway, in a season 1 episode, Theodore Ambrosius II visits the Ambrosius house. Jim answers the door when Theodore Ambrosius II first arrives. He asks Grandpa Theodore. Theodore says, "It's good to see you too, kid. Are you gonna let me in or what?" I don't know why I'm giving him like a sleazy voice. "You gotta let me in or what?" I don't know. He's an old man. He then passes by Jim without letting him say anything. Soon Theodore gives Jim a gift from his latest trip. Jim soon asks where Redacted is. Whoops. Theodore explains she's back at his house, relaxing after the trip. Jim asks Theodore why he's there. He says, "Can't I just be here to spend time with my family?" Jim says, "Since it's not a holiday, no." Theodore says, "Fine, I'm here to talk to you about the business, Jim." Jim gets nervous. He asks, "What's wrong? Are we not making enough magic?" Theodore dismisses this, explaining that he has come because of something else. Jim is also likely in at least one photo at the Ambrosius House. Another kind of just introduction episode. I don't fully know the plot yet. That's just sort of the setup. Anyway, in season 1, the season 1 half season finale, so it's like the winter finale. Not that this is probably going to be one of those shows that has like weekly episodes, but I don't know. I just wanted to have half season finales because I think that's a fun idea. Jim may appear towards the end. I'm not explaining what the episode's about. I guess, okay, we're just moving on. In the season 1 half season premiere, The Mortal Way, Jim might appear, but only if most of the episode occurs at the Ambrosius house. If the Ambrosius house appears, he's likely in photos there. Again, I'm not entirely sure what The Mortal Way is about. There's something about, like, doing it the mortal way. I don't know. I don't remember what this is. I think it's like Theo has to, like, learn how to do things without magic or something. I don't remember, to be honest with you. Anyway, in the credits scene of a season 1 episode, it's nighttime at the Ambrosius house. Here Jim goes to the master bathroom to do his nighttime routine. Here Jim sees Redacted. Whoops. Redacted is a highly intelligent magical newt who's Crystal and Theo's pet, starting in the first episode. I guess I can call him S. Let's call him S. Okay. Which surprises him. Soon, Theo, who has entered the master bedroom to ask his mother if she's seen S. God dang it, Dylan. No one's gonna watch this. This is a terrible stream. We did, like, nothing. We progressed very little today. You might as well stop watching after the... People will probably go away after. If anyone watches this, it's probably not gonna be this part of the stream. And June hears Jim's scream. In the penultimate episode of season 1, they'll probably scroll past through all this, see, hey, it's not actually in the rest of the stream. Why is he even streaming? I might just cut this stuff out. I genuinely don't think I need all of this. Like, it's embarrassing. I think this is good. I don't know. I don't know if anyone else thinks these stories are good, but I sure do. As the person who wrote them, even 10 years ago, I think these are pretty good. Some of these need to change. Obviously, for modern times, it's been a decade. Technology has changed. I still can't believe it's been about a decade since I wrote all this. Maybe even longer, to be honest with you. It's wild. It's wild that it's been a decade since... Well, soon. Actually, like, right around now, isn't it? Yeah, around now, a decade ago, I graduated high school, which is absolutely wild to me. I'm just having that realization now that, like, yeah, I graduated high school a decade. I've been out of high school for a decade now, which I know is normal. It's time progressing, I guess. And of course, the pandemic really, like, changed my perception of time. It was, like, a whole 2 years where, like, nothing happened, so... Whoops. But yeah, anyway. We're still not, apparently. The battery's somehow still flashing. It'll die eventually. I hope. I assume it will die eventually? I don't know. Anyway. There's a great penultimate episode. Okay, in the in the penultimate episode of season 1, after the recap of the previous episode's events, an altered version of the theme song starts. The alteration is human elements replacing the magical elements. Jim plays the same role, but he takes Theo's cell phone away instead of his wand. He might also be on a cell phone. I probably should say smartphone. Cell phones, the other kind of cell phones aren't really a thing. I mean, I don't know. Is it really necessary? Do people even call them smartphones? Is cell phone even a term? I don't even know. I don't actually know. I've never actually, like, wondered, like, is it just smartphones now? Or, I mean, they're just called phones? They might just be called phones. I guess nobody really has a landline, do they? They might just be called phones now. I just feel it. That's really weird to think about. Like, I mean, I'm sure people do have landlines, of course, but, like, they're rarer outside of, like, businesses, maybe. Like, almost nobody has a personal landline anymore. Because cell phones are just so much better now. Like, you can contact any individual person, which is wild to think about. It's weird. Times have changed. I mean, even a decade ago, that was kind of the case. Like, landlines were dying even a decade ago, but still, like, it's wild to think about how much has changed in the last decade. And how much has stayed the same, but, you know. We still have the same president we did a decade ago. But don't worry about it. Let's not talk about that. We don't talk about that on this channel. Actually, we have in the past, but we tried to avoid that kind of stuff on these channels. Anyway, it is, I mean, that's just a fact. I mean, that's just, that shouldn't be controversial. It freaking is for some reason. Because anything even slightly related to politics, even facts like that, are controversial for some reason, which I really hate. Way too much things have become politicized, and I hate that. And that is my political thing. No, kidding. Someone's probably gonna see that as political. Oh, you are an anagram, well, it's gotta be political. What you're doing is a socialist idea. I don't know, whatever. No, obviously not that, but you know what I mean. Like, somebody's gonna see it as a certain ideology, which I don't believe in. I don't believe in that everything has to be a political stance or a political ideology. I don't think supporting, like, it's Pride Month, and I don't think supporting LGBTQ, whatever, QIA plus, however long the acronym is now, the community is not, I don't think that should be seen as political. I hate that that's become political. I hate that, like, human rights has become political. I hate that so much. I think a lot of people hate that. I think hopefully a lot of people my age think that too. Like, I just think it's just, why? Like, a business should not have to advertise itself as LGBTQIA friendly, plus friendly, whatever. Like you should just be. That should just be the thing. Like, no one here should be afraid. No one in this country should be afraid to enter, like, a bookstore or something and judged. Like, what? No, that's absurd. It's absurd. Like, you shouldn't have to advertise any of that. I don't know. Maybe that's a liberal take or whatever, but god dang it, I hate it. Today we also talked about, about transgender, the flag with Sylvia on today, so I'm a little bit in that kind of mode, I guess, today. I finished that video kind of last night, had to do a little bit more today, but yeah, so, like, I'm kind of in that, like, this is, I hate how much things are political. They shouldn't be political. It should not be a question. I get, like, because I think it really is, like, I think one of the reasons it's political is because there's a lot of older folk that tend to be more conservative. Not all old people, of course, are conservative, and there are still young people who are conservative, but there is a sort of tendency to, like, if I didn't learn that in school, that can't be true. Or, like, I didn't learn about two genders in school, so that can't be true. There can't be more than two genders. There can't be, you are born the way God made you or whatever. Of course, ignoring the entire fact that if one has body dysmorphia, then one should probably have the body that, I mean, it's a whole thing about, like, whether or not transgender, whether or not you want to believe that transgender people are just sort of following God's will, because, like, if you believe in God, of course, I don't believe in God, but if that's something that you do believe in, that's a whole, like, do you want to accept the whole, like, maybe that is part of God's plan. You don't know God's plan. Nobody knows God's plan. Like, it's also a problem I have with heaven, but that's a whole other topic for another day. The whole qualifications to getting into heaven. But anyway, still kind of rambling at this point. But yeah, like, I think it's interesting that, like, why did this become a podcast? Anyway, go to the gym, bros. No, kidding. It's not that kind of podcast. Not a gym bro podcast or like a I hate women kind of. No, I love women. Yeah, I a lot of weird podcasts out there, aren't there? Hating on men, hating on women, hating on people they don't agree with. People they find defying God or the country or whatever. I also find it odd when a lot of people, like, quote, like, oh, the founders wanted this. We should be practicing the founders' ideologies for this country. The founders, I don't want to say they're idiots, but they definitely didn't know how to run a country. Like, that is a fact. You can look it up. There's like a whole thing about it. I'm fairly certain that was true. I learned it in school, so obviously I don't know how much true that is, but apparently there was like a whole battle or something that basically, like, after a couple decades of the founders' country, which was for white, male, old white men who were intelligent, which is not how you have to run a country, certainly not how this country can be run. Like, the people who were not, smart, old white men rebelled and were like, no. That's why a lot of, like, our amendments are, like, super early in our history, because they had to add a crap ton of amendments because, yeah, no, they messed up super bad. Like, they really had no idea how to run this country. I mean, how do you run a country, right? Like, I don't know if anyone really knows how to run a country, but, like, they really didn't know how to run a country. Because, like, yeah, it is, like, we are a weird country where, like, we're founded on blood, so much bloodshed. And all these weird things where, like, every culture in the world has had immigrants who have come to America. Like, that is just a fact. Like, I don't think there's a single country in the world, other than maybe parts of the world that, like, are, like, not uninhabited. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, unexplored by European settlers. Like, the places in, like, South America, mostly. Like, the tribes and stuff there. But pretty much every other civilized, I won't say civilized, but, every other country is pretty much had an immigrant to America, so. But yeah, it's a very weird things on this channel. We're doing playing Pokemon and talking political for some reason. I mean, not political, but, like, things that someone perceives as political, even though I don't think they should all be political. These are just kind of facts. These are things you can look up. Like, it's weird. It's really weird to hate people. I don't understand that. That's always been something that I've never understood as a person. Like, I understand hating individuals. I hate plenty of people. But I don't understand hating groups. Like, if some, like, gay person, you don't really like a specific gay person or something, why would you just hate on all gays? I don't get it. And also, I feel like some of the hate towards, like, gay people that has, like, lingered, it definitely has to do with the AIDS pandemic, epidemic, sorry, not pandemic. That's the wrong thing. AIDS epidemic, which I think was a lot of fear-mongering in the 90s. And unfortunately, that hasn't. A lot of, I think, older Americans over, like, 40, I guess, probably, are, like, still holding on to that kind of idea. Some of them. I mean, maybe some of the younger ones, maybe above 60. It's probably fair. Some of the young adults, they were cool and hip and stuff. With the gays. It kind of comes back to the birdcage thing. How, like, that movie, it's very, like, of its time. Like, there's very specifically 90s talk. Like, it could never be done today. Like, the premise could probably be done in some farcical comedy, but, like, it's so specifically the 90s. Even though it's from, like, a 70s movie, which is, like, an even older play than that. Like, it's just, like, a 20th century thing, I think. Once we entered, like, the 21st century, especially when we legalized, at least here in America, when we legalized gay marriage, it seemed very trite and very, like, and I think there's been a lot of also push, like, it's a very, like, stereotypical, I guess. There's a lot of stereotypes, gay stereotypes, which are played for laughs, of course. I don't think any, like, actual gay person's gonna be like, this is super offensive. Like, it's obviously a comedy movie, so, like, it's played for laughs. But it is sort of representative of how people thought at the time. Like, you've got the overly feminine and, like, the drag queens and all of that. Like, it's very, it's also not the movie I thought it was gonna be when I came into it. It's still a good movie. I definitely think everyone should watch it probably once. At least even for, like, just the historical context of the 90s when the AIDS epidemic was. This movie came out, like, in the middle. I think in the middle. Let me look this up. When did the AIDS epidemic end? Obviously, technically has never ended because we haven't cured AIDS yet, but you know what I mean. I don't think we have, anyway. Epidemic. Ongoing public issue. So yeah, technically hasn't ended, but it was early 90s. So it was like right after the AIDS epidemic, the 80s to 90s AIDS epidemic. So like it's still probably very controversial in a lot of people's minds, and it was, it was very unique to have it be like that's. It's very like, and I don't think it would have worked if I mean like Robin Williams plays a gay man, which is very much not like I don't know if he's like bisexual or like straight. I know he's at least straight. Might be bisexual. I don't know what his sexuality was, but he played a gay man. Like that's obviously not his sexuality. And I think that was pretty much the only way that movie was gonna ever be able to be watched by anyone. Because like if they had two gay men, that would have been way too controversial. I don't think there's even a kiss in that movie. Like a proper, or there's definitely not a proper kiss. That's still kind of controversial these days. There may have been like a peck on the cheek or something, but there definitely was no like full-on smooch in that movie between two men. And I think it's interesting. I also learned that like apparently like Nathan Lane was not a household name at this point, even though he had played Timon a few years earlier in The Lion King. I guess that didn't, and he's a voice actor. That was like a voice acting thing. It was not really like that. I guess that didn't really land him a household name until The Birdcage. Like he was mostly a Broadway star at that point, which he still was when he did The Lion King. Like he still did like Broadway productions while he was recording for that. Apparently, I read an interview with the guy who played Pumbaa, and that was like a whole thing that they like worked on like plays and stuff together before they did that. Before they did the movie, there's like a whole thing like they met during the whole like myth around like how Timon and Pumbaa met, those voice actors. I wish I could remember the Pumbaa's voice actor's name, but for the life of me, I cannot at the moment. And I'm not yet look it up. My battery's probably almost dead. It's still flashing, by the way. But it's like a whole thing where like the story is like they met in the waiting room and they hit it off, and then they did the recording together. But that's not at all the story at all. Like that's complete fabrication. The real story, according to the guy who played Pumbaa, is that they were working on a play together, on a Broadway play together, and like Nathan Lane was gonna do the voice was like doing this voice. I don't even think they knew they were gonna be Timon and Pumbaa at this point. Actually, I don't think there wasn't. From what he said, there was basically no Timon and Pumbaa at this point. They were going in, or maybe that's another interview with Nathan Lane, but still, the point is that like at this point, there was no Timon and Pumbaa. Like they were playing like what would become Timon and Pumbaa, like the side characters, maybe a comedy kind of thing. They weren't like sure. The production team at Disney wasn't entirely sure what they were gonna do with The Lion King. Yeah, they didn't really know what the tone was gonna be. They knew it was probably gonna be Hamlet. I think that's probably the idea. So it was gonna be Hamlet with lions. But like how much do you play off that? It's not a complete one-to-one retelling of that story. So I had to make it a little fun. And so like they came into the studio, Nathan Lane was gonna go to the recording session, but like the guy who played Pumbaa tagged along just for the fun of it, and like he basically came into the studio with him. Hey, can I like Nathan was like, I think it was like Nathan was like, hey, can I bring this guy in to help me? Like we need two people to play a role, and I think Nathan was like, you go back and forth, but he was like, no, actually, I wanna, like, I have this friend who's with me. Can I just bring him in? And they hit it off like immediately. It worked, like because they already had chemistry from their Broadway show, so like, yeah, it worked that like they just worked off of each other very well, and they made jokes and stuff, and that inspired the creation of Timon and Pumbaa, which is wild to me. It's so amazing, and it is amazing. Like I think it's been over 30 years since that movie came out. Like, yeah, it's like it's wild. It is like all of this, like so much of his life changed after he became Timon. Like, even though I know not a lot of people may even know that that's Nathan Lane. Like, it is one of the, being a voice actor at that time wasn't like a thing you knew. It wasn't a celebrity, because that was the whole point. You didn't always try to get the biggest name celebrity. Like, there was maybe one or two celebrities in an animated film, but these days it's like every actor is somebody, or like everybody who's not a side character, or like every main character is somebody, right? there's not nearly as many good voice actors playing main characters anymore, unfortunately. It's all the celebrity, like... And as someone who is a fan of animated films, I don't like that. I don't want to hear The Rock's voice and, like, think, oh, I'm hearing The Rock. Like, no offense to The Rock. He's a fine actor. At this point, he's done quite a few voice acting roles and has earned that craft into that role, but, or has, like, gained enough where I would say that he's, you know, he can put voice actor on his resume, you know, on, like, on IMDb or whatever they can call him, a voice actor and a voice actor, but, or Wikipedia or something, but, like, you know, like, I don't want to hear Kevin Hart. I mean, not that I don't like hearing Kevin Hart or any of these voice actors, other than Chris Pratt. I hate Chris Pratt as a person. Ever since he became Star-Lord, he became an asshole, and I've hated him since. So, he was great in Parks and Rec, but yeah, once he became Star-Lord, he kind of became an asshole, and, like, became everyone in every animated thing. It was kind of like Josh Gad for a while. Like, I don't hate Josh Gad, and I never really hated the roles he played, but he was basically everywhere at Disney for a while. Like, way too many things. And yeah, it was kind of annoying to hear the same actors over and over again. Same celebrities who definitely cannot voice act for the life of them. Some actors can. Some, you know, get into the role, and with good enough direction, they can do good enough job. But some actors just cannot do voice acting for the life of them. And it's sad, really. Like, yeah, we need a lot more actual voice actors in movies again. I miss that. I miss going into the character. That was also the thing I found interesting about The Birdcage, is that, like, even though I knew it was Nathan Lane and Robin Williams, I did not see either of them in their role. Like, they really encapsulated that role. I saw Armand and the other one. I don't actually remember what the other one's name is. Starina, I think Armand was the Robin Williams character, and like Starina was like a nickname for the Nathan Lane character. It's a very good movie. Seriously though, if you haven't watched it, very good movie, highly recommend. Very funny, very entertaining. Even if you also, like me, find it to be a little outdated in its sentiments, even though some elements unfortunately haven't aged poorly, unfortunately. Yikes. Mostly conservative ideologies. If anything, they've gotten worse. Anyway, but yeah, I think it's worthwhile, even if it's just like a historical kind of movie to watch, even if you don't enjoy the comedy stylings of gay stereotypes. There is a lot that I probably would have changed. I mean, it's a very 90s movie, so there's a lot of, like, fluff to it, I guess. Not necessarily unimportant fluff, but I mean, you know, fluff is fluff, so, like, you know, a lot of scenes. They don't focus nearly as much on so, if you're not familiar, the movie is about, two gay men, who have a son, an adult son, who wants to marry a woman with conservative parents, and so they put on a dinner for the parents, disguise themselves as a straight couple, because it's the 90s, and shenanigans ensue, and the dinner is not nearly as significant as you would think from that description. It is a large portion of the film, probably most of the runtime, but it really doesn't feel like that when you're watching the movie. It's very kind of slow opening. Once we do get to the actual dinner, or maybe even, like, yeah, it basically becomes, like, the whole thing. There's, like, a whole scene that I don't think really went anywhere. Yeah, I don't know why, like, because one of the big things about Nathan Lane's character is that he's a drama queen, because because the whole thing is that they run a nightclub, so there is elements of drag queens, you know, they're drag queen nightclub, so most of them are men wearing female, you know, trying to be females. Probably all of them are men trying to be females, but women, I guess, you know. And one of them, the Starina, is very feminine, way more feminine. Even, like, both of the gay people are very feminine, because that was the only stereotype, I think, at that point. I don't really know that there was the butch yet, or whatever. Well, that's lesbians, but you know what I mean. Like, there wasn't, like, the masculine bear kind of gay at that point. In many people's minds. Everyone was just always feminine. All gay people. Anyway. And so, but he's, like, very, like, over-the-top drama queen. And, like, you get it after, like, the first scene. You don't need, like, 5 other scenes showing that off. And, like, that kind of got annoying after a while. It becomes kind of funny when they actually, like, bring it back to, like, the dinner and all of that, but, like, yeah, it's just kind of unnecessary. Like, it's just such an unnecessary thing to do. Just such a time-wasting thing, you know. Also, I didn't love the idea that the son is 20 years old in the movie, and he's, like, smoking and drinking. I don't know why they couldn't have just made him 21. I don't know why that was a huge... I know Florida was... The movie takes place in Florida, so it was maybe a little bit different back then, and, like, I don't know. Maybe the idea is that gay parents would be a little bit looser with that. I don't think that's probably true. I think there's probably plenty who don't want their children to ever smoke or drink. But that is a huge part of it. It is a 90s movie. It's before 2000 when that kind of stuff became pretty much banned from any movie. Yeah. Even though we knew the effects at that point, I really don't know why that was ever really... I don't know, it's weird, man. Yeah, the effects became... Like, Americans knew the effects of smoking at that point. I don't really know why it was so prevalent in the 90s still, but it was. It was in the 2000s that really kind of stopped being a thing outside of the occasional, like, I don't know, R-rated movie where you'd see some tough guy smoke or something, or some mistress of the night. I don't know. Like, you'll occasionally see smoking. A lot more drinking, though, these days. But also, one other big problem I had with the movie was, like, at the slightest inconvenience, the slightest, like, anxiousness or, like, inconvenience or, like, not inconvenience, like, awkward moment, the characters drink or smoke. And, like, what? What do you mean? Like, this is not a thing where you just instantly go to a bottle. What are you talking about? Like, it's absurd. In some way, that might be part of the joke, but, like, still, it just seems way too absurd. That's also a problem with the movie, is that because it doesn't take itself too seriously... Still flashing, by the way. The sort of moments that are supposed to be serious, you can't really take it seriously. You're watching 2 gay stereotypes, like, wander through this movie, go through this movie. You can't sit down with these 2 obviously gay stereotypes and have a moment of deepness, I guess. They haven't earned that. They're just comedy. They're just comedic characters. You haven't earned a deep moment. I don't know. It was weird. Yeah. Good laughs, good movie, but it's not perfect. Not a perfect movie by any stretch of the imagination. It's just, it is what it is. Still flashing. I don't know what else to talk about. I mean, obviously, we're just kind of waiting at this point for it to die. I could leave now. I don't really have to stay much longer. I could continue reading. I don't know. It feels awkward now that I've rambled. Yeah, I don't know. What else is on my mind? My interview, did meeting stuff, did editing. I have a long night ahead of me. I hate Mondays. Went grocery shopping as well. Got enough food for that, I think. Sorry, I haven't talked this long in a while. Haven't rambled in a bit. It's a longer stream than I was expected. Obviously, it was only going to be like 2 hours was my expectation for this, so yikes. This is very long battery. This is way longer than it is for here, which I think the whole thing is that, like, it probably isn't a terrible battery life. It's just that streaming through all of this stuff drains it super fast. I don't know why it doesn't just die on its own, but whatever. Turn off on its own when it does that freezing thing, but whatever. I don't know. I think it's interesting that I like to think that my characters are more grounded. Although maybe a little bit more absurd, but, maybe not completely grounded, but a little bit more, like, you can take the serious moments a lot more seriously, even if they are kind of comedic a little bit. comedic characters. And I think that's kind of shown how much has changed in 30 years of how we write comedies. I think that's one of the big reasons we don't have a ton of comedies anymore, is because they're just, like, you have to either rely on stereotypes or you have to, like, actually write good characters, which is not always easy for comedy writers to do. Like, they kind of, the last few decades, have relied on stereotypes to be the comedy, you know, the punch, but society doesn't want that anymore. They want good characters who happen to also be funny, you know. Well-written characters that are also funny, you know. And some movies, you know, they're good for a cheap laugh. Like, there's a bad movie out now called The Breadwinner, or at least I think it's bad. I mean, I haven't watched it, but it looks bad. And it's about a dad who, like a single dad, or not a single dad, but a dad who has to take care of his kids while their mom is doing, you know, is pitching a product to someone, or I don't know, whatever. The point is that, yeah, like, she's off promoting her product that she's made. He has to take care of the daughters, and it's very much a, dad's a screw-up, that's our dad, that kind of comedy, and, like, very much like a comedy that would have worked 20 years ago, maybe not so much in 2026. Like, it's very, like, it feels like it was written by someone that genuinely thinks, like, tells, like, a dad, oh, I see it's dad's babysitting day, you know, who genuinely sees, like, dads as, like, babysitting the kids rather than actually taking care of the kids. Like, society has very much changed. I think I may have talked about this once on here, too. Like, that was one of the big issues I had. A couple other movies have that kind of similar problem of, like, this would have worked a decade, 2 decades ago, but not anymore. One of them is Superman, the 2025 movie. I had to stop watching that movie. I watched it with a friend. She insisted I watch it. I didn't really want to watch it. I was not interested when it was in theaters. I did not want to watch it, but she convinced me to watch it. I had to leave when when Martha Kent, the woman who raised Superman, was over her counter. If you haven't watched the movie, she has her phone like this on, like, a counter. So imagine, like, several feet, you know, on, like, a coffee table, and she's looking down, talking at it. That was where I drew the line. I could accept Luthor Corp. I could accept the blonde character who's just there to fucking promote the villain or something, who is literally just a blonde stereotype, which is also, like, a decade-old stereotype. I could accept all of that. Not really. I hated the movie from, like, the get-go. Again, he looks nothing like Superman. Like, he does in some shots look like Superman, the actor who plays him in this movie, but for most of the shots, he does not look like Superman. It's awful. That movie's terrible. Anyway, I digress. Point is, that's where I drew the line, because, like, my grandma, who is over 80 years old, knows how to talk on a phone like a normal person. That joke would have worked when smartphones were new, or even a decade ago, honestly. But now, no, everybody knows how to work a freaking smartphone. And also, I don't think they're very old. It's also a problem with age, which is mostly the problem with the next movie I'll be talking about, is age. Like, I always assumed they were probably in their 30s, Martha and, you know, the Kents were probably in their, like, their 30s, 40s, you know, I always get that kind of impression when I watch, like, the animated Origins and stuff, that they're probably in their 30s at that point. You know, they probably didn't want kids, but, you know, now they have a kid, or whatever their backstory is. So, like, they've only been, like, 60. Like, it's been 30 years since he came to Earth as a baby, I think? They don't really go into that, because, like, that's the problem, because they have, like, a text scroll. If you watch the movie, they do, like, a text thing at the beginning that you're supposed to read, and problem with that is, if you're not familiar, if you don't know, Superman has a few different origins. You can't just skip Superman's origin when doing a Superman origin movie. That's just not how that works. That's just bad. That's how you know the movie's already gonna be bad, is that they skip past the origin of Superman. Because, yes, I know everybody knows that he came to Earth as a baby or a small child, because that difference is important, especially if you're gonna have Crypto, the super dog, because there is 2 different versions. Like, I mean, there's probably, like, a dozen different versions, like, almost 100 years of Superman at this point, but in the original version of Superman, he came to Earth as a child, not as a baby. That's sort of a later thing. And that's why Crypto, when he comes to Earth, Superman remembers him, because he had Crypto as a child on Krypton. So, but if you're not gonna, like, if you don't, like, talk about that, like, was he a child? Was he a baby? Like, that's kind of important. And is there, like, a weird timeline thing? Like, of course, I think the new movie goes into it a little bit more, the Supergirl movie. I'm not gonna watch that either. I think Crypto was terrible in his unfortunately first live-action debut. Was like, he was just a bad dog. And I get there was some sort of, like, story behind that as to why he's a bad dog. But Crypto, the frickin' super dog, should never, ever, 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 ever be portrayed as a bad dog. That's just not good writing. You do not understand. As someone who grew up with the 2000s cartoon, I do not love that portrayal of Crypto the super dog. I will take the Rock version of Crypto the super dog over this one. I also didn't watch that movie. But anyway. But yeah, I got really mad at the fact that this probably 60-year-old woman, or woman in her 60s, was doing that. My dad in his 60s knows how to do that. Like, everybody knows how to do that. Because smartphones have been around for almost 2 decades. I don't think people remember that fact. The original iPhone came out in, I think, 2007, maybe 2006, late 2006, 2007, something like that. It's been around for, like, 2 decades. Smartphones have been around for a while. You can't have that kind of joke. Even, like, the Midwest, whatever, woman doing that, like, it's a stereotype, yes, but from a decade ago. Not from, like... And to be honest, it's probably a stereotype built by, like, Grandma's first iPhone. Like, oh, she's using her first iPhone for the first time. She's using her iPhone for the first time because she has to talk down to it. Like, that's kind of... It's like those videos you see online. It's not, like, ever really been, I think, an actual stereotype of, like, old people in the Midwest, or just old people in general, that they don't know how to use a smartphone. It's like, it's always been those stupid videos that, like, probably that old lady who did that in those videos, like, year on knows how to use the phone. Like, obviously, like, nobody knows how to use a phone. Nobody knows how to use a new technology, right, when they first use it. Like, how do you, something to get used to. So, like, it's an awful stereotype, an awful thing to have in that movie. And especially for Martha Kent, the woman who raised freaking Superman. Awful, awful movie. But the other problem is If. If is a movie starring Ryan Reynolds by John Krasinski of The Office fame. And it's bad. No, it's bad. It's not terrible, but it's not good. If you're wanting a show, if you want to watch a movie about imaginary friends, about a kid who can see imaginary friends, watch the pilot for Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends instead, because that is way better. That whole show is way better than If. If seems like John Krasinski watched that movie, or watched that show, maybe with a younger relative. I was like, I can do this better, and then proceeded to do it worse in every way. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, if you're not familiar, is a cartoon about Madame Foster, an old woman who opens her home, her large mansion, to imaginary friends who not only exist in this universe, but are, like, real. Like, once they become into existence, they become into existence. Like, everyone can see them, everyone can interact with them and all that. Like, but those who grow up and no longer need imaginary friends, they go to Foster's Home to be adopted by another child who I guess, cannot make one of their own, or otherwise kind of just adopts one like a puppy, I guess. I don't know. But the main series focuses on a boy named Mac and his imaginary friend Blue. So Mac's mother has told him that Blue has to go, because Blue is a bit of a ruckus, a troublemaker of sorts. And so he gets put in the Foster's Home, but it's not that he's giving up Blue. It's that he's sort of there as, I don't say collateral, but, like, I don't know what the right word is, like, whatever, I don't know what the right, but, like, he's there to, like, temporary, I guess, like, just sort of until, like, Max sees him every week or something. There was like a rule where, like, he has to visit him every day or every week or something. And so they visit often. That's, like, the whole show is all the shenanigans that these two get into, and all the imaginary friends at Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. excuse me, and like the staff and stuff, you know. And so that's, you know, it's a very good show. It was a very good show, and I highly recommend it. It is, yeah, it's very funny, very clever, very just generally fun, colorful, you know, that kind of stuff. If is worse, it is about a girl who can see imaginary friends. Nobody else can see imaginary friends but her and presumably the people who made them. I think the whole thing, the moral of the whole thing is basically don't grow up. It's a weird moral. Like the whole thing with Foster's Home is that it's okay to grow up and to not need your imaginary friend, but like this one's moral seems to be don't give up on your imaginary friend. Like don't give up on your childhood. Like it's weird. It's a weird moral to have. It's weird. Like it's okay to like be a little childish, but like I don't know if imaginary friends are the way to like present that concept to people, but whatever. But anyway, she can see other people's, including her grandmother's. Spoilers for the movie that I do not recommend, but her grandmother's imaginary friend is one from the 30s. Or like a 30s cartoon character. Problem with that might be obvious. This is a little girl. This movie came out like 5 years ago or something, a few years ago. This is like a 10-year-old girl. Her grandmother is like 60 in the film. Like the actress is in her 60s. Makes sense. That's about how old a grandmother would be to a 10-year-old girl. But so why the hell would she have an imaginary friend that's a character from the 30s? It's very much John Krasinski doing probably his own grandmother, who probably was born and grew up in the 30s. Yeah, it doesn't work. You can't make your own. I think a lot of, like, middle-aged people forget that, like, middle-aged directors and, like, writers and stuff, they forget they're not writing if you have a little kid character and you write a grandparent, you're not writing your grandparent, you're writing your parents. That's what you're doing. Like, that's the reality, is that your parents are grandparents now, or would be, you know, hypothetically would be, you know, even if you don't have children, or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, that's the age that grandparents are, typically. Some are older, of course, but generally, like, that would be the idea. Like, the casting director got that concept. They hired a female in her 60s. Like, it works. It works. But for some reason, in the mind of John Krasinski, grandparents are from the 30s. Grew up in the 30s and 40s. Like, no, actually, those would be great-grandparents at this point. Like, my grandparents did, but I'm in my 20s. I'm almost 30 years old, and I'm, like, the second youngest biological child of my grandparents. So, yeah, like, it's... yeah. Yeah, like, I think about, like, my friend's son is, like that. His grandfather is my friend's father. Like, that's, like, how that works. Is that once you, like, he's like 3 years old or something, but, like, that's the whole thing. Like, that would be who the parents are. Like, it's not old people, man. Middle-aged people. You need to remember that. If you're gonna be a writer, you want to write a kid character, you gotta remember that your parents are the grandparents, not your grandparents. Unless you're writing in an older time period, obviously. But, like, if you're present day, that's the idea. And it is set in present day. This isn't like a movie that's set back in the whatever. Like, they have modern-ish technology. I don't think they do so much in the smartphones, but they have camcorders, and, like, the camcorder seems like it was the thing from her childhood, from her little childhood, so, like, maybe it's a few years back, but, like, that's still not enough time, you know. When I was a kid, like, my grandma was 60, so, like, and she was born in the 30s, so, like, I don't know. Like, it's not like, you know, I don't know, like, she's, like, I think the main character is, like, a teenager, but still, the point is that, like, you know, time has passed. Technology has passed. And, like, people are older, you know, people are not as old, you know. I think, like, today when I mentioned that, like, the movie was, that Birdcage was celebrating 30 years, like, my friend, or, like, my coworker, who is in her 60s, was like, oh, when I think of 30 years ago, I still think of the 60s. So, like, to her, like, yeah, obviously it would have been a controversial film in the 60s, but it was in the 90s where it's a little less controversial, still controversial. The Birdcage I'm referring to, of course. But, you know what I mean? Like, it's weird. Like, time has progressed. I know, it's weird to think that 30 years ago was 1996, but it was. Time has progressed. Time has progressed, and so has technology, and all of that. And I'm really happy. One thing I am happy about modern movies is that they no longer film on a screen. Like, I don't know if you got, like, you know, they don't do this. They don't do this anymore, like, where, like, it's that shitty quality of actually filming the phone. They, like, superimpose text messages, which is nice. Truthfully, I think would be better is if people actually talked. Instead of showing the text message, have people texting, but saying what they're texting. That's truthfully, I think, the best way to do that, because it's really kind of stupid, because, like, if you miss any of that, especially if it's important text messages, because we don't do phone calls anymore, right? So, you know, they're doing text messages because nobody does phone calls anymore. You know, people obviously do phone calls, but it's a lot less common for people to communicate through phone calls than text messages. So, you know, so, like, it's... Oh, it's dead. Okay, we'll finish up this point, and then I'll leave you all. But yeah, texts are not, you know, phone calls aren't as common, so they have text messages now. But, like, presenting it for, like, 5 seconds, or, like, for, like, 30 seconds or whatever on screen, for some people, it's not enough time to read all that. So I think the better way to do that, if you're gonna have text messages in your movie, instead of presenting the text messages, or you can do the text version, like, on the screen or whatever, have the actual characters say what they're texting. Or maybe it's been, like, voice to text or whatever. Whatever you need to do. I think that's truthfully, because I think there are some people who will talk out loud. I don't know if your character is the kind of character that would talk out loud when texting, but, like, it is a thing that does exist in our world, you know. Just, I think that's the best way to present it in a film or television show. Then, like, because, like, yeah, if you don't want it to be like, oh, people are directly talking on a phone, I get that. You know, you want people to, you know, text. Yeah, that's the modern way we communicate these days. So, like, I get it, but like, yeah, there's definitely better ways to present it in film. And if any, like, I want to see that hopefully one day. There probably are movies that do that, but, like, they're not nearly as common for me. I don't think I've ever seen a movie do that. Truthfully, that is the best way to, like, yeah, to present, I think, a text message. So if you're a aspiring writer with your screenplay, and you want to be like, okay, this is what we're texting. I get it. It's also probably a little bit easier to, like, superimpose it instead of having them talk. They can just silently look at a phone for, like, 30 seconds or, like, a minute. Your actors, and then you can superimpose whatever they're going to say in case you want to make some rewrites, but, you know. Easier, yes. Better, I don't think so. You know, putting in the effort, I think, is important. This was a weird segue. I completely went from, like, cell phones to, like, cell phones. It's weird. From smartphones to smartphones, and everywhere in between. This has been a weird stream. We streamed for, like, an hour and a half, and then spent the next, like, hour and a half talking. So, that was weird. Anyway, hopefully, so next time we will do, or maybe an hour and 45. Anyway, yeah, we did a lot of not streaming today. We will do an actual proper stream next time. We will hopefully get Rayquaza and Deoxys, or at least Rayquaza. I don't know. We'll see. And maybe, if I'm lucky, we'll do some trading. I don't know. I don't know when my dad's coming over again. I mean, he's just, when I was on break, you know, going to the bathroom and, excuse me, and getting water, he texted me, like, saying you could just buy one for pretty cheap. But, like, I don't know how much I'm gonna need one. Like, I don't know how many times I'm gonna open up my old 3DS. I don't know. Maybe it's worth it to buy one. I don't know. Whatever, that's it. I gotta get going. I gotta go film some stuff, so, you know. Hope you've enjoyed what little we did today. I mean, we got further in Alpha Sapphire. We did get further in Omega Ruby. We got to the tower. the Sky Filler, but didn't get us Rayquaza. I don't know that we're ever gonna need a Rayquaza, but we will find out. For now, you know, I'll see you on Saturday. I'll be back on Saturday to do more streaming. Probably around the same time, I think. Pretty sure, hopefully. Might be later, I don't remember what I'm doing on Saturday, so we'll see.